all listeners, come one, come all, and welcome, for we have the follow-up to one of the most astounding shows in recent days, the alignment chart ranking, this time of the Daddy Conference of the Daddy Plan, featuring, oh, wouldn't you know it, wouldn't you believe it, one of the coaches that we will be looking at today is in fact Daddy himself, and with me is my ancillary daddy, the local auxiliary, Mogo. Once again, say hello.
Whoa, 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 hey there.
Oh my, these sultry tones. Yeah. Oh, so, we ended our last thing. Please go watch the previous video, at least at the start, to get an idea of what the concept is. Basically, it's all of the Pokemon that were drafted last season weren't legal this season. It's VGC, it's Galar Dex, there's no Dynamax. And we'll be ranking them on an alignment chart. And the alignment chart goes from whether we think the teams are tempo-based, long game-based, and whether we think the teams are wide or top-heavy. Still looking for a better term than long game. If anyone has it, please avail me of it. Until then, I will be too stupid. And definitely make sure that you guys leave a like on the video. The first team that we're looking at today here is Jace and the San Francisco 40 Grimers, which I believe is a part of the San Francisco 49ers.
Indeed it is.
That's right. I will avail you of all of my great reserves of
your
baseball?
Sports knowledge.
Is it baseball? I think it's baseball.
No, it's not. It's football. It's American football.
Oh, like gridiron. Yeah, like football.
Yeah.
I don't know why you guys don't just call it rugby like we call the other rugbies rugby.
Fuck if I know. I wasn't there to make the decision.
Don't use feet, therefore it should, like use.
No, you do use feet for a little bit. You kick it into the goalpost.
Yeah. Same thing as rugby. And I know that rugby is short for rugby football, but we call it rugby because it's not football. Anyways.
Rugby is so much
I thought the 49ers were a baseball thing. I think I have a baseball bat somewhere, possibly at my parents' house in the garage, that is like a logo
just have
of
like
the
a
49ers
49ers
on it.
baseball bat.
Yep.
It's not uncommon to have like random like sports team memorabilia on the wrong sport. Just because it would be like more like team pride or like area pride rather than like sport
I have a Red Sox hockey puck somewhere.
Yeah, that tracks.
I'm pretty sure that one is baseball.
It's because people in Boston love hockey. Yeah.
Boston.
Boston.
Yeah, this team.
So looking at Jace's team.
Jace is an incredibly attractive fellow.
This is true.
I think he's in San Francisco. Isn't he in LA? Am I doxing Jace by mentioning one of the most populated cities in the world?
Jace is around there, I believe.
I'm pretty sure Jace is in LA.
They're in California, that's for sure.
Look, you know what they say. If you're going to San Francisco, be sure to wear flowers in your hair. Turns out, first overall picks Politoed. On the wheel, picks Ludicolo and Weavile. Very powerful fake out. Articuno, Galar, and Rotom Spin. I don't know why the Rotom Spin is here. Haunter and Golurk. I kind of get they wanted like Ghost Offense, and those are both pretty good. Barrascuda. Sure. Reboot. Sure. So Reboot, Pichu, and Machoke are all 2 points. I think Reboot and Machoke are probably okay at 2 points. Non-Follow Me Pikachu.
Pichu not having Follow Me. I get it because it's a Lightning Rod support. It's fake out Lightning Rod. So it's fine.
You can slap a Focus Sash on it and we'll probably do something. It's just, is it ever going to be better than Weavile? Which it may be. It may be. For 2 points, I think it's reasonable.
Sparingly. Because it also gets like Nuzzle, it gets like random little things like that. So it's definitely not like,
just helping out.
It's not terrible.
Because it's 2 points. If it was more than 2, like if this was like 8 points, it'd be like, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
I think Reboot
but
is
immediately the
funny.
thing that strikes me with this team is from the other Politoed team that we had in Baby Div, where they had
It's a special attacker.
Yeah, I was gonna say where they had Barrascuda and Dreadnought. I was thinking, oh, if this was Barrascuda Ludicolo, I would love this. And lo and behold, we have Barrascuda Ludicolo.
Oh, I figured out why Rotom was on the team. So Articuno was there for Hurricane, and Rotom's there for Thunder.
Oh, yeah, that would track.
Rotom
They should
Spin cost
get rid
9
of
points.
Hurricane.
Haunter costs 6. Golurk also costs 6. I would say that both of those mons I would have thought were better than Rotom Spin.
Why does Golurk cost 6? That thing should cost way more.
I mean, I guess it's because it's in a really awkward speed
Maybe not
tier.
way more.
I
Yeah, I
think Haunter's
guess,
also
but
good.
like,
Haunter
yeah.
recently checked. I used a Haunter to beat an Arceus normal, and previously I used it to beat the same Haunter to beat a Rayquaza. It turns out being immune to extreme speed is nice.
Yeah, I would imagine quite.
It's like it helps you beat extreme speedists. I think this team.
The one thing that I do notice about this team
super
that is very different from most of the other teams that we've seen is that it has immaculate speed tiers, just except for like the 95 to 125. Don't pay attention to that.
If they run a min-speed
but-
Ludicolo, it fits really well in that gap, you know?
Yeah, precisely.
The Scarf Golurk as well. I don't know. Sorry, I can't tell
but
if you're
like,
completely joking or not, because 86 to 70 is also not good.
8670 is like that's like fine because
So
like
for
having
Mon-
like a
if they have,
15
like,
to
a Nidoking,
16
the
difference
Nidoking
is
runs
not
modest.
absurd. I mean, yeah, but it was gonna run modest
And
anyways
like
because that's a
Politoed
fucking
and Ludicolo
Ludicolo.
aren't really running speed. I feel like this
Yeah,
team just
well,
doesn't have...
Ludicolo's running the speed to outspeed shit, and then but it's never gonna run max, and
Does
then
Rotom
Politoed is
run
just not
max
running speed.
I don't know. I'm actually genuinely unsure. But then
Rotom
this team doesn't
probably
even
would run
like,
max
technically
speed.
really have slower mods, because, you know, Glock and Choke.
Yeah.
That's it. It's kind of okay with Tailwind. Most of these mods are pretty good with Tailwind. Like Reboot's 86 attack goes really far when you consider that Libero is functionally equivalent to a choice band on every move that isn't previously a fire move.
Yeah, exactly.
That
Which
said,
honestly, I
it has
think
terrible fire
Reboot
coverage.
for 2 points is a mon that will come to like
1 or 2
maybe a game,
I think it'll probably hit the field once. It'll be in team preview 2, maybe 3 times.
and that'll be about it.
I mean, that's fine. That's well worth 2
Yeah.
points. Same thing with Machoke. Machoke's actually a really decent EFLI user. It's got really good bulk with that 80, 70, 60. And that 100 attack with no guard, dynamic punches are good. And it can also work as like what it's called? Like a burn... absorber. That's what I was looking for. Just so it can use guts. It's okay. It's very much an okay mon. Barrascuda. I still don't know if I like Barrascuda on Rain. This team is a better water matchup on account of... It's not really that much better, right? Like... I don't know. Wall Rain that we saw in, like, I think the last draft of the last team, it may have been 1 or 2 drafts before it, with Freeze Dry and Scald just kind of smashes this entire team in Rain, which I don't love. Why are all the Rain teams I see weak to water? Like, Politoed is decent into it, but...
Yeah, well, I don't know if this team is like weak to water per se, because they have Politoed, Ludicolo, like Ludicolo quad resisting water, Politoed potentially if it's not running Drizzle being the water absorber.
Yeah.
And they only have the one like true water weakness
Does
in
the team
Golurk.
function without Rain?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
it does.
so Barrascuda
very
functions
much.
without Rain.
I think Barrascuda functions
Weavile
without
enables other
rain.
ones?
Yeah, Weavile helps out. The Tailwind on Articuno will help. Ludicolo can definitely function without rain.
I mean, Ludicolo is just like a worse Weavile without Rain. Because it's just a slow fake out mon that's not that strong.
I think calling Weavile not that strong is crazy.
No,
but...
no, Ludicolo without Rain.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, the main thing it
yeah.
can do without Rain is if you don't have an alternative fake out mon. I did this with Shift Tree in BDSP, where I used Shift Tree for fake out when I wasn't running
fake
Sun.
out.
But
Yep.
you already have a really good fake out user, and then an alternative fake out user in Pichu. I don't know that there's that much value in having yet another good fake out mon. So I think Ludicolo is relatively limited. So I suppose you can use Politoed without Rain. It's not amazing, but it's usable. And then,
I think
like, in terms of a
without
team
rain
of
is
4,
honestly, it's fully not bad personally.
like, is it 18 points are fully not bad? My question here, mostly with these Barrascuda teams, is would you be better off getting a mon that can work outside of Rain instead of Barrascuda?
I think Barrascuda functions just fine without rain.
No, I do think it functions fine without Rain, but it doesn't present anything. What Barrascuda does outside of Rain is the same thing it does inside of Rain. And it's the same thing that Ludicolo and Politoed do, kind of, inside of Rain. Like, Barrascuda doesn't really care about Rain that much. Rain is functionally just a choice band for it, because it's very fast, or against opposing, like, Tailwind, like Prankster Tailwind and stuff. You know. Driflin.
It's an assurance for Barraskewda for sure. Like I don't think there's anything necessarily
I think
bad
this
about
team
it.
is more top heavy than I personally like.
Um,
That said, Galaxy.
See, I don't know if I would call it strictly top heavy because I can definitely see like Rotom Fan, Haunter, Golurk coming to a lot of games. It's really just the bottom three that are like sort of nebulous.
Rotom Fan's 9 points.
I think personally Rotom Fan is really.
I just
really
think
good.
that like Polito Ludicolo either do or die together.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which 31 points is a lot of points for two mons that kind of work much better together than they do apart.
Yeah, but they'll come a lot together is the thing. Like
Yeah, but that's being top heavy, isn't it?
I guess so.
Bringing Polito makes you want to bring Ludicolo, which then, you probably then either really going to run Barraskewda or Barraskewda's matchup is not good here at all. And then like Barraskewda and Weavile are both fast and frail. Obviously, Weavile is not like ridiculously frail. 70, 65, 85 means it will often take a special hit. It will more rarely take a physical hit. It'll take like a Dazzling Gleam, but it won't take a Moonblast sort of deal. Probably won't take a stab Dazzling Gleam from like a strongish mon. But like so there's a lot of trade-offs with this team. It certainly feels top heavy because as much as these other mons are here, they're kind of like window dressing for a team of 6 that are maybe one of them's going to be in a team of 4. I think you're rarely bringing, like, you're either not bringing Polito Ludicolo, or you're bringing Polito Ludicolo and then one of these two support mons plus a 4th mon. Right?
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily wrong, but I don't know. I personally wouldn't qualify that as strictly top heavy just because you're going to bring those two often. I think I would see it as more. It's not a wide team. Yeah, I would say something like that. And I would say strictly a lot more on the tempo side of things than on the long game side.
This can long game, but it functions very well in tempo. Purely tempo, pretty frail mon. Like, relatively strong in rain. Not very strong outside of rain, but relatively strong in rain.
I mean, yeah, I'm seeing pretty much everything on this team outside of Politoed is pretty tempo. Just in general.
I was going to say Articuno Galar can do both. Was the only
Articuno can, but the thing with it being a psychic flying type is that it doesn't really have the typing to afford it long game. Like psychic flying is such a terrible defensive type,
especially when you have 2 rock resists and
it's gonna be catching strays
2 electric
from
resists.
like rock slides constantly.
Golurk is not a great synergy with Galacuna because you have 1 dark resist, 1 ghost resist. Yeah, look, I think it's a really good mon that doesn't necessarily do that much on this team. Barraskewda, like these mons, like maybe a choke can go late game, but like having 2 mons and go late game, this team is very strongly tempo.
Yeah, I think this team is like one of the more tempo-sided ones that we've seen.
At the top of tempo.
I would agree. Though that's my main thought with this team is that it's.
I think that's mostly what subconsciously I'm trying to get at with Politoed is this team doesn't really do much for a long game Politoed for a Water Absorb variant.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you could really get away with what's it called, like Stockpile. I think it gets Stockpile. I'm actually not sure. Stockpile is not on the list.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not in GDEX.
Okay.
I don't believe so, at least.
My brain, at least, if you can think of a couple months to get Stockpile, that I just subfrog. Alright, so now we get to the mastermind of this division, and I'm pretty sure it's functionally the protagonist of the gen. We have the Daddy themselves.
Yeah, this team is
wait, no, sorry,
very
they're not the
interesting.
protagonist. What are they called?
Antagonist?
No.
Benefactor?
Dumbledore,
The headmaster?
the wise mentor for
the wizened mentor. Yeah.
The wise mentor. Wizened. I don't know about wizened. I don't know if you want to be hearing your daddy's wizened,
Fair enough.
And Daddy is the Philadelphia Ash Whoopers.
Woo, Philadelphia! Woo!
Born and raised, Wait.
Yeah, truly.
Philadelphia. Have I been to Philadelphia?
Fantastic question. Have you?
I've been to a lot of parts of the US. I'm actually not sure if I've been to Philadelphia. Like, I've been... been to such random places because it's like, oh, my parents are like, we want to go on a thing, you know? We want to go to the south and like go to a plantation so we can see what like it was like under slavery and, you know, all this like sort of Americana. I mean, in the South, they have like a million things about slavery and about the Confederacy. Yeah. You go to like the Midwest, and you barely see anything about like you have to really go out of your way to see stuff about like conflicts with the indigenous and you know. My brain is just completely freezing on the person who I'm trying to say the name of. Tecumseh.
No, Tecumseh Sherman.
No, not Tecumseh Sherman. Tecumseh Sherman was the Confederate. Sorry, it was like the Civil War one. Actual Tecumseh, who was like a guy who fought against America so that the indigenous peoples could be free.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't following your train of thought.
Tecumseh Sherman was actually very, very much not a fan of having free indigenous peoples and, like, used the Civil War as the excuse to start conflicts with them. It's not super poggers.
Anyways, second pick, Magnezone.
The round 2 Magnezone's pretty strong. I think Magnezone's pretty alright in this team. Wasn't it like round like 6 or 7 in the other thing, and you were not a big fan of it there?
I just don't think Magnezone is good.
It went from good in VGC to just good. Wow. I mean, I think it's okay. I don't know if it's a pick too long. But this team was designed like, I want a Fairy Dragon Steel. And they have a Fairy Dragon Steel. It's a really good fairy. It's a really good dragon. And it's a functional steel. Both have like... So, Magnezone is weak to 3 types, right?
Yeah.
There's not a 4th one I'm missing. It's just fire, fighting...
No, it's just ground, fighting, and fire.
Yeah. Dragonite checks all 3 of those. And Sylveon checks fighting.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily continue to check all of them.
It can function for sure. I think one of the main things is that steel trapping is not as relevant in
just run sturdy.
In this, no, I mean definitely run sturdy. But I like the main reason you get Magnezone is because it has magnet pull. And like you're not really going to be doing much steel trapping in this div because I mean the stats are not bad.
I meant the 130 attack and 10 cost.
You won't be doing much steel trapping in this div because there's not a lot of steals.
Well,
no, it's more because of the lack of steals overall. Yeah,
this team does appreciate steel trapping where it comes.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't not. It's also it doesn't really have a great way of killing steals once they're trapped.
It's a very interesting combo after that.
Yeah. I think Dusknoir is like it's good obviously for setting Trick Room. This team's like Trick Room mode is interesting, in that it's sort of like a Dusknoir Golisopod Rhydon.
Physical attackers. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, they're all physical, they're all 40 or
like
45, so they're not like the slowest. But definitely like this team can definitely function as sort of like a Tailwind team. Especially with like a Sigilyph like being their Tailwinder is not bad. Because Sigilyph does have like it's 95 speed,
do you know what the best thing about
97.
Sigilyph is, right?
What's that?
Wonder Skin means that opposing taunt has like a 50% chance to hit you, I think.
Yeah.
Which I've seen come into play with people missing taunt because of Wonder Skin.
Oh, I'm sure. Or you just run like Scarf Sigilyph.
Yeah, it sets it to 50% unless the number was originally below 50.
Yeah,
you'd run Scarf, but you're still worried about Prankster taunt.
Yeah.
Because most of the Pranksters in this format have taunt.
It's also like I can look at this team and tell that there's a good few Mons that can like do some good breaking physically and do some good breaking specially.
It seems mostly like breakers, right?
I think this team is going to have trouble breaking steals. Which is...
Well, you know, I have a very useful tool for that. Called Magnezone.
Well, but it's gonna trap them, but is it gonna kill them is the main thing. Like, Poliwrath and Ponyta and Rhydon being your, like, 3 main, like, steel checking types, and Rhydon and Ponyta are just immediately sort of out, because, like, what are they gonna realistically do?
Really? Ponyta's out.
Ponyta's not bad, but Ponyta's not...
I would say Ponyta's better than Poliwrath.
I mean, yeah, fair.
Like, okay, so you're comparing... Poliwrath has very specific issues of... It doesn't get any good fighting type moves. It gets some really interesting ones, But no close combat, no high jump kick, no, like... It gets Focus Blast, which is okay off of its 70s attack. Like, it's okay. But people run it because it doesn't get CC or anything. Ponyta at least is throwing out Overheat or Flare Blitz or Fire Blast. You know, it's doing high base power moves, which is going to significantly help. Also, it's faster. Also, it was 1 point. And I think Poliwrath was more than 1 point.
What do you mean Poliwrath not having CC?
Does it get CC now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Poliwrath is significantly better than it was last gen.
Yeah, no, it got it. It got it this gen from CC being a TR.
Okay. For some reason, I thought it still didn't. I have no idea. I know.
No, yeah, I was gonna say I thought it definitely
actually
got it.
terrible without it. Last gen, I was not. I thought Poliwhirl was much better than Poliwrath because it's faster. Poliwag is at the same speed as Poliwhirl at 90. I don't know why, but they are.
They're both pretty fast, yeah.
So Morgrum's here, it's got dual screens. Does this team benefit from dual screens? I'd say very much yes. If you look at the first 4 months, they're all really good at taking hits under screens.
They're all very good under screens.
Rhydon's really good. Like... Sigilyph is kind of alright. It might help Golisopod not like get emergency exited.
Yeah. This team is definitely, it plays very bulky offense.
Yeah, this team is like a lot of slow, strong Pokemon that have
this team is
to make them tankier.
This team is going to be playing for long games, like very, very often.
If you were to ask me which of these Pokemon got Snarl, I would not have guessed which one it was.
You would not have guessed that it was Golisopod? Yeah.
No. Also, Golisopod doesn't get knocked in this format. That's sad.
Yeah, almost nothing gets knocked in Gen 8.
I know.
I think Rillaboom is like one of the only super relevant things that gets knocked.
What is, sorry? Rillaboom? Yeah, it does. Yeah. It's by level up.
Yeah, because it gets it by level up, because it's not a move tutor move in Gen 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it definitely, like, I don't dislike this team, I don't think.
Machamp gets knocked off. That's really good for the Machoke that Jace has.
True. It can beat the other Machokes.
Sirfetch'd gets it. Lickitung gets it. I think one of the teams had Lickitung, didn't it?
I think one of the ones prior definitely did, yeah.
Yeah, in like the previous thing. Tangela and
I feel like Lickitung is for sure a low tier.
Ludicolo gets it, you know, that's funny.
Oh, interesting.
Sableye gets it, which I'm well aware of. Crawdor gets it, which I'm well aware of. Absol, Drapion. Of course, Regigigas. Why wouldn't it? Zoroark, apparently. Mandibuzz. It's funny. And then Salazzle, Guzzlord, Rillaboom, and Sirfetch'd, which I mentioned, I think, with Farfetch'd. Yeah, not a lot of Pokemon get knocked off.
Yeah, it's not a ton.
I still would have thought Golisopod was one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm too singles-brained for it. I think this team's okay. This team's pretty wide, but kind of it's kind of both top-heavy and wide in the sense of it's only really going to feel pressure, I think, to bring Sylveon Dragonite most games, though there's a lot of good ice types, so Dragonite might even be the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Second Fairy.
I think I definitely see this team bring like Sylveon Dragonite to most games.
Yeah, I think Sylveon comes to basically every game. Dragonite then comes to a lot of games, but it will have some matchups where it's just not bringable. So then, what else is coming? It's pretty wide in terms of I think most everything else can come. Even Ponyta, for the reasons we talked about it. Like, Ponyta's a decent Focus Sash user. Rhydon's a really good Evioliteist. Morgrim is okay with Eviolite, though it does like running the dual screens. Most of this team is good
it'll
running
probably
the dual
run
screens.
like
This team's
Claymores
pretty good. I like this team. I like the options of this team. I think I enjoy using it. This team doesn't have enough rock weaknesses. 0 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely put this very on the long game side, and then probably more on the wide end of things as opposed to on the top heavy.
I don't think it's
like probably somewhere around there.
I'd probably put it even a little bit higher. It's got good
I would put a little lower, closer to long game personally.
But you're looking at Sylveon. You're looking at like the 134, 100 Dragonite. You're looking at like a Taurus.
Oh yeah.
You know. You got Sigilyph, like the Tinted Lens variants are really immediately strong. I don't know. A lot of these mons. This team definitely plays like a medium game that leans towards long game, so I think I'm pretty good with it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, yeah.
And moving on to Ben.
Yeah, Hawkeye Ben, famous for taking underpriced picks early. which he absolutely did hit.
Yeah,
Crawdaddy.
Crawdon, Rune, Roserade. 3 off rip.
Zod, I think they might have gotten that from a coach trade. I don't... I see the coach trades in both gens and in a couple other leagues, because a bunch of leagues drafted at the same time.
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
This team is very interesting off rip. Its TR mode doesn't feel super strong with, like, Rune Stunfisk being
my brain forgot to talk about the Duraludon Heracross. And Zan.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
That's fair.
The TR mode, I don't think Stunfisk is a great TR abuser. I think Rune itself is a good TR abuser, but you're otherwise looking at playing an Iron Ball.
Rune is fine, but it definitely likes having something else. And that would mean, like, likely running, like, a slow Crawdon or a slow Buffalon. This team, very wide. I see a team where any 6 could come any week, realistically, except for, like...
the other league with the Charizard trade, and it was the other team where we talked about the Naga Kingdra trade. They also trade Marowak and Charizard, and we didn't mention it because I'm blind.
But yeah, no, I see this as a team where I could see realistically like any 6, except for like maybe Stunfisk Seeking, come like any week.
Well, I think if you're bringing Seeking, you probably want Stunfisk with it, or Electivire, one of the two.
Are you talking for discharge lightning rod spam? Yeah.
Seeking's funny. Seeking did win that Spanish regionals a while back. Sorry, forgot to mention, Hawkeye Ben has the Great British Blastoise. This team is like super wide, which is unsurprising. That's what Ben's like staple is.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of these teams where it has 0 dragon matchup, like in terms of weaknesses or things. But I think this team is relatively frail for a team that's so... This team is so many frail mon.
Well, it's a super tempo heavy team.
So you look at Crawdon. This mon's super frail, especially on the special side. Runeregis, pretty decently bulky, though I think its special defense is less good.
It's
still pretty good.
145, 105 on both,
Roserade,
but it has 58 HP, so it's...
Terrible physical defense. Charizard, major weaknesses, but it is pretty tanky. 74, 78, 85 is pretty alright across the board. Alakazam, incredibly frail, especially on the physical side, but still true on the special side. Buffalon, I think this one's pretty tanky. I think we made comments
it's pretty bulky. Yeah, it's 95
This team actually has Buffalon synergy with Roserade. For the
Sap Zipper.
Stunfisk. It's tanky, but I don't like it very much. I don't respect it very well.
It exists.
I don't respect it that much on a team with 2 ice resists.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And when like the ice resists are both water types, right? Yeah, both frail water types. So Freeze Strike just goes in. The Ralliodon. I don't know if I respect this one or not. I'm unsure. I think
Ralliodon's interesting.
But this is a format without much redirection, and the main thing I liked about it was Stalwart.
Yeah. 100%. That's the main thing it's good for.
But yeah, Duraludon's also very frail on the special side. That was the thing I was trying to say. 50 SpDef really hurts. It really does. Like, with Max, it was okay, because you could also slap an Assault Vest, and between the two, like a 2x multiplier and 1.5x multiplier, you had 3x its SpDef, and it was okay. Still not great.
Yep.
Heracross,
exactly.
Pretty alright, but relatively frail on the PhysDef side. It's pretty tanky. I'd say, in Charizard, pretty tanky, just kind of across the board. Electivire's PhysDef is god-awful, and you do really feel that. Like, taking a Fake Out and then taking, like, 15-20%.
Yeah,
it's not
you
great.
definitely notice it.
And then Seeking also is pretty bad defense. So there's, like, a couple ones that specifically have high defense, but then have awful SpDef, or mid-SpDef in the case.
Yeah, or the other. Such as with, like, Roserade Alakazam.
Yeah, but I mean, like, mostly the team is bad PhysDef.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then there's also, like, a lot of... No, I mean, most of the team is bad SpDef. One of them. My brain is dying. This team is very much on the back foot. I think this is, like, the team that would probably least benefit from screens. Just because...
Well, I was going to say, I think this team will benefit from fast screens from Alakazam.
Will it? Because the Alakazam will just die, and then the partner mob will also just die.
I mean, yeah.
My concern about that is, if you're not putting up a light screen, then Alakazam is going to die to a physical move, basically always. Like, someone run like a stab multi-hit, whether it be like a Fury Swipes, or a Pin Missile, or a Rock Blast. and then the Zan dies, and then whatever mon's next to it, if you're putting up a light screen, might also have then pull Fizz Def. But even if they don't, then there are other ways to deal with the mon. If you can just commit one mon to stopping a slot that's not doing that much. Also, the fighting matchup is kind of here and there. I don't think it's there enough that they couldn't run a thing.
For sure. I think this will definitely be a different team, or an interesting team to watch out for.
Oh yeah, Ben is an incredibly interesting player, and it's very difficult to prep for because of how much can come.
Yeah, exactly. You never know really what's going to be there.
Yeah, but I do think this team maybe has a... Oh, sorry, I meant to talk about Daddy's team. I hate this team's speed tiers. It's all here.
Oh, yeah.
The Taurus at the top, and then these kind of at the bottom, but they're also not that slow, and Taurus is also not that fast.
It's another one of those not super fast, not super slow teams.
Yeah, very, very mid-range speed-wise. This team is, I think, less that so, but also kind of... This team has like a block of speed that's 15.
It has more range, but it's less functional in those ranges.
Yeah, maybe. I think this team is better in terms of speed options.
Yeah, in terms of speed,
mostly because Alakazam, you can still speed swap any of these mons.
True. Yeah, I would definitely put this team more strongly on the side of tempo and wide for sure. Pretty solidly on the wide end, and then pretty decently up on the tempo. Yeah,
I'm kind of
about that. I think
it's fair. Wide team. I don't think you can expect any of these mons to come to every game.
Yeah, 100%.
If it is something, it might be Rune.
And then on to Charizard.
This is Charizard Ace. I think their team is just like the Charizard Aces or something.
Got you.
No, sorry, the St. Louis. I've been corrected on that. The St. Louis Charizards, which is not the capital of Missouri, because the capital is someplace that like 20 people live in, called Fort something. But it is the economic heartland of Missouri.
The immediate thing I see about this team is there are about 5 different Pokemon that will want to run Eviolite at any given time, which could be good in that you never really know where the Eviolite's going to be, but also bad that you're going to be pressured to put Eviolite on a lot of different places.
This team is a team that should be wide, but because, Fungus maybe can run a Focus Sash. Wartortle is really bad without an Eviolite. Ferrocy is really bad without an Eviolite. And Purloin can also run a Focus Sash instead of an Eviolite.
Oh, so I was going to say Type Null over Purloin.
Oh god, there's Type Null too.
Yeah, because Purloin's never
Pokemon.
really going to run.
5 Pokemon.
Yeah, Purloin's not going to run an Eviolite. There's no need for Purloin to run an Eviolite. It's going to die
and it can do it.
One shot no matter what.
Purloin is... Why
don't call that.
I've definitely seen it.
Don't call that surprisingly bulky.
And the numbers are... When I say surprisingly bulky, the numbers seem much stronger than the numbers actually are, in my experience.
Yeah.
That mon has been used very well. God, this team just doesn't exploit a lot of the weaknesses other teams have outside of Electric and Ice.
Yeah, I was gonna say I saw Zapdos Mamoswine right off the bat, and I like that pairing a lot. I think Zapdos and Mamoswine work really well together.
Torracat too.
That's the first one.
Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But sure, we'll say 5.
Yeah, I said 5, so I wasn't counting.
To most of these, is an EVL. Still a Focus Sash. But then you have other mons that want Focus Sashes.
And then still, you have other mons even a Mamoswine will appreciate a Focus Sash in some weeks.
You're basically pressuring the Mamoswine to run and resist Berry when it would prefer a Focus Sash, and then hoping.
Yeah, this team is definitely going to struggle around item clause.
Because its fire resists are both mons competing for Eviolite.
Mons that would want Eviolite. But that being said, it also has the 3 mons that would be weak against fire. 2 of them are going to be other ones competing for Eviolite.
I don't know, Mamoswine, Oblivious versus Snowcloak is a big problem.
True.
For a team with a bad fire matchup. And then Skarmory is just terrible, but a lot of these mons don't love being on the same team as each other because of item clause. So then Skarmory is maybe pressured to come. This team
I think Skarmory is going to be pressured to come a lot of the time.
But the fact that it's got a million mons that are competing for Eviolite or Focus Sash really is painful.
Absolutely.
the tallest feeling one right now. And I also just don't think it's like, this is a great start, and Bassimian's okay.
And then it just sort of becomes
Like
Eviolite
Espion's
City.
mediocre. Torracat's really good.
Yeah.
And then I just don't treat the rest of it like you run a Focus Ash Fungus. Like, is this your team of 6? And then like Espeon can interchange with Skarmory. And then
It's
maybe
also
1 week you bring Wartortle instead of Torracat. Maybe instead of Fungus you have Purloin. And like still that. Or maybe
it's also a team that's very slow and doesn't have Tailwind.
Yeah. Also, its Trick Room setter is Espeon, right?
Yeah.
It also only has anti-Trick Room mons, because Fungus and Ferroseed are not good under Trick Room.
Yeah, they're not going to be Trick Room sweepers at all.
Fungus is fine under Trick Room because of Spore, but it's not strong.
Yeah, but it's not going to be sweeping is the thing.
I don't like this team very much.
This team feels like a Tail Room team that doesn't have Tail or Room.
I'm just going to delete everything besides Torracat and Fungus, and then look at what the matchup looks like for stuff. Huh. 1 water resist.
Yeah. In
another one. No ghost resist. No rock resist. Like, I like Purloin. Purloin can honestly still come. I don't know what item you run on it. Maybe you run like a resist berry on Fungus or something.
It could just be like mental or potentially, I don't know.
Sure. Even then,
depending on
it's not a great ghost resist.
Yeah.
So then, like, is Type Null coming? Is like Troupple Type Null? Maybe an offensive boosting item Type Null? I'm just not sure. I'm really not sure about this.
Yeah,
every single time I looked,
overall...
I noticed an extra mon that needed Eviolite. Because when I first looked, I just thought it was Fungus, Wartortle, Purloin, and Ferroseed, and I thought that was bad. And then it's like, Type Null. Wait, Torracat!
Yeah. No, it's definitely it's a team that I don't think will end up functioning super well without like at least 2 of those mons that want Eviolite each week, but then that presents another issue.
Mostly, I think the problem is that Skarmory and Espeon both suck.
Yeah, also true.
Like Espeon's okay. Espeon's maybe okay. Espeon had like a niche in like max format. I just don't.
And even then,
I don't have faith. Like it was cool because you could have Psychic Terrain up with someone else, but nothing else is setting up Psychic Terrain for it. I don't know.
Yeah, I personally, I think this team was drafted to be wide, but it's very, very top heavy in practice.
Yeah.
Because like Zapdos, Mamoswine, Passimian, I think are going to come to every single game.
Maybe not one of them, right? Like definitely 2 of those 3 are coming every single game.
But like then the thing is like you look at the rest and you're like, what else will come instead? It doesn't have offense other than those 3.
I need help.
Yeah.
Where on earth is the St. Louis?
Is it the Charizards that are on the very right?
Is it? St. Louis Charizards. It is.
There we go.
Sorry. And then we were deciding this team is forced to be tempo and top heavy.
Yeah, I think pretty much.
Like
I would put it a little less tempo than Jace's team. But yeah,
Zapdos
something like that.
Is kind of the thing. Mamoswine's kind of mid-game. Torracat obviously can stall out. Fungus can stall out. But like, I mean, Type Null with Eviolite can. Skarmory's just bad. Like, okay, I use Skarmory in BDSP. It's slightly better than it is in BDSP because it has access to Body Plus. But it's still terrible. It's absolutely garbage. When your team is that weak to fire and your team is that weak to electric.
Yep.
Like, it's not going to do anything. Because it's not strong. And it's not that bulky. It was deceptively bulky in the era of like Gen 2 and 3 before the physical special split, because every type that was super effective into it was special. But now physical attackers can run Thunder Punch, right?
Yep.
And a lot of types that it resists, people can have special attackers with, and like it's not like I think Espeon can probably 2 KO Skarmory with Psychic. Like that's the issue of struggle that it has, because it turns out that 65-70 is not that great.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
That's about all my thoughts for the team.
That said, we're happy to be proven wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to be proven
By which you mean we demand you play stall every week. Every game. And also, don't bring Zapdos or Mamoswine to any of the games. If you do that, then we'll have faith.
Yep. Now on to darts.
This team is weird.
This team is weird, but that being said, Milo Cinderace is one of my favorite cores in Max. And I know this isn't Max.
Yes.
But I love that core so much in Max, and I definitely think that it can work in non-Max.
This is the Vancouver Victinis. I don't know. I think
Yeah.
Cinderace is pretty good in non-max. I honestly think it might be maybe better than in max, just because there's less stuff that can
No,
take its hits.
I think it's way better in Max because just the ability to take like Max Airstreams and like Max Pyro Balls and stuff like that, and getting a Dark attack instead of Sucker Punch. Definitely all are massive boons to it in Max.
I cannot see a single Vancouver team that sounds similar to Victini's. Apparently there's a Vancouver Whitecaps Football Club and a Vancouver Whitecaps Football Club 2. Yeah, sorry. I think that Melodic is funny. Cinderace appreciates competitive support. Trump is really good. Togedemaru is mostly just here for fake out, I think. Like, the team's electric matchup is really good. I get there's Melodic and Scyther that are weak to it, but you have Funny Trapinch, you have Blinding Rod, you have Drampa, you have Eggy. You sniped me on Eggy. I wanted that one. Scyther's really good. Scyther breaks a lot of the teams we've seen just because dueling beat Technician is basically Brave Bird without recoil, and it
dueling is definitely not bad.
Subs and whatever. Especially Technician and like decent.
I think this is the first team that we've seen that has like a good trick room.
Wow.
Like in terms of having a lot of trick room sweepers.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, Drop is good. Castle is
like,
okay. You can run Room Service on Eggy pretty okay because it's also clicking trick room. I think this team has got a lot.
I noticed how you didn't mention Trapinch yet.
I've drafted Trapinch. Mondai's to too many Aquajets for me to respect it.
Yeah, but like it's busted, so it helps.
It's busted, so it helps. That's true. You can first impression something. In trick room,
not and also just like, I mean, honestly, Life Orb, Sheer Force, Earth Power does way more than you'd expect. For off of that base 45 special attack, I
agree.
Functionally,
I've also played Little Cup.
Pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. I'm well aware it runs Earth Power. I don't know. I sincerely question whether Castle is good or not. If Castle is good, this team's great for it. I think if Castle is not very good, then this Trick Room team is going to kind of fall apart.
Yeah.
Well, not really. It's got Drop Up still. Drop Up is really good. There's a great The Draftables video about it. I don't know why this team has Lanoon Galar. Am I missing something?
It's just, I guess, for like fast-ish, like Snarl.
This team would like Tailwind.
Support. Stuff like that. This team would very much like Tailwind.
Togepi's the only, like, follow me mon in the format, I believe. It's a couple of Rage Powderists.
Yeah, and I guess it has, like, decent speed control in, like, Icy Wind, Milo.
It's slow. My problem with its Icy Wind is that they're already slow, so, like...
Yeah.
If you're, like, running, like, a Scarf Melodic, then that's pretty alright. But I was looking at, like, Cinderace, you can coaching Scyther, which sounds really strong. The fact that you don't have Tailwind just makes me think like Togepi's not great, because your setup is coaching, or it's Trick Room.
Yep.
And Trick Room often like appreciates a fake out more than it does a follow me.
You could like bulk up a Cinderace next to Togepi.
Yeah, it's just not like it's not a Swords Dance, it's not a Belly Drum, it's not a Nasty Plot, it's not a Trampler, right?
It's not like the most immediately offensive thing. Yeah.
Bulk Up is great. Iron Defense is another one. Bulk Up is great, it's just not explosive, and like coaching is the same thing as Bulk Up, just on a different mod.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah, you can run Togepi next to Cinderace, but if they click a spread move, Cinderace is probably still not loving it. It's not Clefairy, right? It doesn't have Friend Card.
Yeah, no.
Or Extreme Speed. Only Togetic gets Extreme Speed. No, sorry, only Togekiss gets Extreme Speed. I was very miffed. I was building with Togetic and I wanted to bring Hustle Extreme Speed, and I couldn't. It was illegal. It was a crime.
And you just were not able to.
Nihilego is really good. I feel like I haven't mentioned enough.
Yeah, Nihilego is good. I think that in terms of the I don't think
Lanoon
chart that we're looking at, I think this team I can definitely see a lot of things in this team coming.
I think Milo comes every game. I don't think that's true for anything else.
I was gonna say I think Milo Ace comes every game.
Ace is definitely not a mon that comes to every game.
No, you don't think so?
In my experience with Ace is a mon that can look like it has a good matchup until you realize that it actually kind of doesn't, and then you just bring 5 other mons. Which is fine. That's good. I think that's good. Like, it's healthy. Cinderace at 15. You know, it's not 18, right? I don't know. I think this team's pretty light. It's got really good mid tiers. 7.
Yeah, I was gonna say this team is very like, I think in terms of the spectrum that we're using, almost like directly on the middle of the axis to me. Like, I feel like it can play. I think it can play tempo like with things like Cinderace, like in Trick Room. I think the tempo will sort of show itself as well with like a Trapinch, Cursula kind of stuff going on. I think it airs more towards long game than it does towards tempo for sure.
Oh, it's a chef. The Victini is a chef. Maybe it's named after a restaurant in Vancouver.
Maybe.
Or maybe that's just cafe mix. I don't know. I think Victini is like the repeating event Pokemon they have there. Alright, so now we have Boim, and every time I see Boim, I think of the World War II Admiral, and specifically like memes from Hoi 4, and I cannot not think that. Also, I keep thinking that because the O is capitalized, that it's a 0, but it's just a capital O.
Yeah, it
makes it very difficult to add Boim when I type B0 and then nothing comes up. I had that on many occasions. Alright, Sneasel, broken. Absolutely broken. Probably went too late. I absolutely was snapping that up round 1. I snapped that up round 1 in both like the practice drafts. It's broken. Kingdrip. This team's a better rain team than the rain team. No, I'm taking that back. It doesn't have like a prankster rain setup, so it's about as good a rain team as the rain team. Sneasel can rain. Azelf can rain.
Don't functionally agree with you, but I get what you're saying.
Functionally agree with me. Functionally, is that the one we're going with?
I think you're wrong. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm still thinking of the Dreadnought rain team. This isn't as good as the Ludicolo one at rain specifically. Yeah, sorry. Okay, I was still thinking about the last team.
I think when I look at this team, this is a team that looks like it was designed to play in Max, and then got told last minute it was playing in no Max.
Really?
It's got like one Max Braviary, Virizion, Colossal.
Yeah, that's 3 months. I don't know. I'm looking at the top end. I'm like, wow, this team is super strong in non-Max.
See, I don't think Kingdra is outside.
It's a much worse Ninja team because of its rock matchup.
Oh, it's terrible into Shedinja because it has
Ghost,
3 psychic
Dark,
types.
Fire. Flying.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
Is there a Shedinja weakness that I'm forgetting that it's secretly okay into? I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, I don't think Shedinja makes any sense on this team.
Yeah, no, it really doesn't.
Especially because it doesn't love a hail matchup.
Yeah.
So
it's also a weirdly fast team with 6 mons above base 100.
See, that's the key. You have fast mons, and then you click Icy Wind. Also, it has like speed control from the slower mons. And its Trick Room core's pretty good. Okay, Colossal's pretty good in Trick Room. Clang does not get Trick Room. If it did, it'd be much better. Swoobat.
I feel like when we recorded the last video, I said Colossal is not that bad in Trick Room, and you said I disagree. I'm almost certain
it's very possible. Note that I am a troll. I think that Colossal is really good with either of like the psychic types that have Rock Tomb, because then you can proc its Sweetness policy and make it slower. Those are really good. Specifically, I think it's Mushana and Reuniclus. No, I think Mushana only has Rock Throw. But that's still funny.
But still. Yeah.
Also Bulldoze. But all the Bulldoze mods are relatively fast. Like Dusclops is great, but Dusk Noir probably does too much to the Colossal. I don't know. I don't think this team sets Trick Room very well. Both of them are fast, frail psychic types, and this team's Ghost matchup is awful.
Yeah, very,
This team's Electric matchup is not great. This team's matchup into a lot of types is kind of rough. But it's got a lot of like mid-range. Like, Virizion is very much like a mid-speed mod. If not for the fact that we just saw, not this team, like this team and this team, no, it was Daddy's team. Yeah, they're like these 2 teams, both of which had no Pokemon faster than... Sorry, 1 Pokemon faster than Virizion, or no Pokemon faster than Virizion. Like Sneasel, no Pokemon faster than Sneasel or Azelf. I don't know what Swoobat's doing here. I love Swoobat. Was it like 4 points? 5?
5. That,
I don't know.
yeah, I don't really see why it's there.
Like, the thing about Swoobat is, like, it's funny if you can Brutal Swing and get a weakness policy off with it. But, like, it's just gonna die.
Yeah. I think this team is going to be forced to play very tempo because it doesn't really have a lot of like bulk per se.
It's got mons that can normally run in a mid-range. Kingdra's a funny mid-range mon. Braviary is a funny mid-range mon. Virizion doesn't hate the mid-range. Shedinja obviously is like the king of a long game, but it doesn't use them well, right? So these are Pokemon that individually can, but not on this team comp.
I'm not really going to see this team playing mid to long range at really any point because it doesn't have the support to really do that, I don't think.
Yeah.
And like also like I think that when we were talking about the other one,
Swoobat,
I think that we talked about what Azelf does, and I think that our general consensus was damage and explodes.
I don't think I said explodes.
No, I said that and you agreed, I think.
Okay. I probably wouldn't explode with it on this team, to be honest with you.
Oh, I mean, on this team, definitely not. And that's more what I was trying to say. Was that I think on this team, Azelf...
Azelf is a mon. I think Azelf is probably one of the best, like, redirection abusers in this format, because it does get that nasty plot. And then it's got really good coverage on top of that. But
and then where's the redirection?
Yeah, I mean, obviously redirection is really hard to come by.
Yeah, absolutely.
But is it that hard to come by? Wait, was it that hard that you couldn't have picked up like Butterfree over Zoroark? You know,
I was gonna say there's definitely rage powders that could have been taken.
There was definitely points where rage powder could have been taken. I'm not gonna say for sure that there are stuff free now. There might be.
Yeah, maybe there's something about Sneasel that I just don't get, but I don't think Sneasel is broken really by any extent.
Okay, so I drafted Sneasel in all of the like mock drafts we did, and it like basically won the games by itself.
Mm-hmm.
What are like the rage powders? There's Tangler, obviously. Oh right, Tangler's not legal. So there's Fungus. There's Butterfree. Both of them are gone. Togepi, follow me. I think there is another rage powder mon, but there might not be.
There 100% is. Is Paris there?
Paris isn't in the gen.
Okay, I couldn't remember. There's got to be others.
I think there might be, like, even maybe just... Oh, no other pay rage powders, because there's no Volcarona. No Spinarak, no Carnifine. No
oh, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, okay. So there were literally 3 redirectors in this format.
So there's definitely not a surplus of them.
When did Fungus go?
Fungus went,
the same round.
Round 5, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I personally feel this team is... It doesn't feel like it's ever going to have the breaking potential to really do a lot of stuff, despite having a bunch of attackers.
Sorry, are we saying this team's like super tempo but relatively wide? It's kind of it towards the middle for width.
I think this team is very, very, very tempo.
I forgot what this team is called. So it's Bloom. Oh, I haven't said it. The Grove City Gigaliths. I don't know if that's like where Grove Street is or not, but I only know what video games are, so I assume that's just like an actual place. I probably put it like there. Why is it go below the wide thing? This is the problem with the Western hegemony. You know, they always want to put the whites on top.
True. I personally would move this team more towards like the middle in terms of top heavy and wide, because I feel like
this in Ohio. You have my condolences. You put it more towards the middle in terms of hot heavy.
Instead of just towards top heavy.
It's pretty towards the middle. Mostly I was saying that Shedinja's not real, Swoobat's not real, and Clang isn't real, which means it's really that not top heavy with, you know.
I mean, it's like
1, 2, 8 mons.
Yeah.
I don't know. That still seems relatively top heavy. Like it's certainly not here, right? It's certainly not here. So I think it's heading towards this.
I would put it more towards the middle. I think we've definitely classified other teams that have like 3 more middle of the road mons as being like
that's not middle of the road mons. Swoobat is redundant. Shedinja is not viable on this team, and Clang is bad. True. I also think Zoroark is terrible, which would put it down to more. And then Rapidash is kind of redundant with Azelf. like, I don't know. I also don't think Verizian's very good. There's a lot of mons on this team that I just don't think are very good, which means I think it's going to rely a lot on the
that's
good
aside.
mons.
That's aside from my justification. I think every mon on this team is not good in no max, personally.
Even like Azelf and Kingdra.
I think that Kingdra without Rain is pointless.
Yeah, but you have Rain. It's just that you click it with Sneasel.
I mean, but that means you're putting Rain Dance on Sneasel.
It's the same thing. Or you know,
Sneasel's already a mon that has 4 move slot syndrome.
Honestly, put it on Kingdra.
And I mean, sure.
So like, if you remove, yeah, no, I don't know. I think the main question is, like, if this team runs into a bunch of teams that don't have much for beat up Verizian, then it's okay. And if this team runs into teams that have stuff for beat up Verizian, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Verizian doesn't have like a great spread move, which is the main issue. It's gonna
doesn't have a spread move. I don't think.
It has a Rock Slide.
Does it? I thought it only had Stone Edge.
Okay, it might only have Stone Edge. But like, I mean, more in the sense of like, Terrakion is good because it has a good spread move.
Yeah.
Not because...
Yeah, it doesn't have Rock Slide.
Verizian surely has at least one spread move in the entirety of its arsenal.
Let's take a look.
I refuse to believe otherwise. I don't want you to look.
It
I forgot
doesn't
what this
have...
team was again.
It doesn't have a single one on the physical side.
Wait, this is
and
still
on the special side... Is Magical Leaf spread?
I believe so. Also, I know Razor
And-
Leaf definitely is.
Yeah, it doesn't get Razor Leaf.
Magical Leaf is a single target.
Okay, so it doesn't get a single spread move.
Why would they do this? This Pokemon.
Yeah, no.
I know this Pokemon. Alright, what
yeah,
about
that's my-
old gen
that's my
moves? No, none of its
assessment.
old gen moves are spread either.
Oh, I mean, if Old Gen, it probably has something.
No, I'm
I don't
looking at
know.
all of them. None of them are spread.
Oh, okay. Dang.
Flash might be spread, I don't know. But that's a support move, not a damaging move. I just don't think that Verizian is very good.
No, I agree. Verizian is terrible.
Oh,
it has Swift.
Based. That's all
That's
you need.
spread.
Honestly, I think Calm Mind Verizian is the set that it most thrives with. Like, you can chuck a Calm Mind on it, and you get a weakness policy boost, and at +3, you do, like, actually KO mons.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, this team, I feel like we've talked about it into the ground.
Yes. So, we'll go to Dan, the man with the plan. Not the daddy plan, a different plan.
Off the rip, went for Torn and then 2 electric immunities.
Hell yeah.
Which
It's
is cool.
Alexandria Arcanines. Which is good, because I could not read that text on the logo.
Might be one of the first teams that we've seen with 2 fighting types.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe a lot of people just haven't been getting fighting types.
Certainly not a lot have been getting double fighting types. Fighting types are really good in this format, though. That's it. They seem
Fighting
pretty
types
good
are
in
fighting types are really good in every format of VGC.
No, because Max Knuckle is something base power. It's not very good.
Well, yeah,
Same as your poison types had. They got a lot worse because Max Starfall was broken, Max Mindstorm was broken, Max.
Sorry, I meant
broken.
draft, as opposed to, like standard formats.
I mean, that's
Like
still
draft,
true in draft.
fighting types are always.
As someone
fighting types
who
are still
got
always
carried by
wanted,
Farabosa
though.
in my first ever VGC draft, I still don't think fighting types were great. Farabosa is specifically good because it has the ability to remove most Pokemon. Like, there's very little that can survive it, oftentimes even through Max.
More than anything, it's because a lot of teams tend not to have physical breakers, and fighting types are almost all physical breakers.
Or Verizian, which is not a breaker.
Yes, this is true. It is one of the counter examples.
I would say it and Cavalion are the best counter examples. With 90 attack
Yes,
and 90 speed attack, and a lot of speed.
very true.
A little bit of speed. And also bad in one of the defenses. This team is funny. It's got a really good fast Tailwind setup.
This team has a lot of mons that you'll need to
Tailwind
predict if
team.
it's running physical or special on a given week.
Yeah, Nidoking.
Like Torn, Nidoking, Mesprit,
I don't think Torn is
Wishy-Washy.
particularly amazing in the current format with
No?
because like Acrobatics is okay, but it's just okay. Mesprit's very much Wishy-Washy. This team is like a super tail roomy.
Wishy-washy Bolton.
Wishy-washy is now finally struggling because at 30 speed, it's not as good as at 40 speed. The base wishy-washy might be the tech. Just don't run. What level is it? It's like level 15 or something that schooling takes into effect.
I
don't expect you to know off the top of your head. I'm just like.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head.
Level 20.
Gotcha.
Schooling has no effect outside of battle.
I think this team
Lifepod teams
has
really
surprisingly good speed control.
Very good.
Like it has like the tailwind on Torn, the icy wind on it.
This team is one of the best speed controllers in VGC history. Icy wind, Alola Marowak.
So true. I could not agree more.
Alola Marowak won Worlds.
It also gets Sheer Force, Icy Wind, Nidoking.
Yep, that's certainly one of the options.
Yeah, I mean it has good speed control like on its two fastest mons in Torn and Bolton.
What is the good speed control on Bolton? Just Nuzzle?
Get Scary Face.
Okay, so just single target speed control.
Yeah, but like
better than nothing.
It's still good. Yeah.
Is it better than KOing a mon? Probably not. Is it better than setting up and winning the game? Probably not. But you know what? It is an option. It is one of the options ever. Bolton seems like a good Howl user.
A good what?
Howl user.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you put an extra Buzzwole.
Yeah, a lot of things on this team will definitely appreciate Howl.
Like, you scarf Buzzwole, but you make the Buzzwole slower than Bolton. You click Howl, Buzzwole's probably going him on there, and it's getting a Beast Boost.
Yeah, exactly. But Buzzwole just comes in and...
Also, wow, Appleton's actually good on this team.
Yeah.
That's crazy. This team needed a water resist, and it answered. Yeah.
That being said, it's still decently Ice Weak. Because, like,
yeah,
Nidoking and Torn are coming to every week, I feel.
The thing is that there are three ice weaknesses on this team. I don't think Torn is coming to every week as much as Nidoking is.
No?
I think you can definitely bring a 6 of this team that does not have Torn. I'm not going to say that like that comes every week, but I think it's perceivable there are 2 or 3 weeks in this season that you don't bring Torn.
Potentially.
Because Torn is not like God tier amazing, but it is good. But it's not like God tier.
No, it's definitely not God tier amazing, but it's one of the best sources of speed control on this team, which is the main thing.
Yeah, but this team doesn't need speed control because it's already good. And it has a lot of alternative options for speed control. So I don't feel this team feels... Like, I think this team will probably bring Nidoking, mostly just because it's good. It's not going to feel forced to bring it. It's just there's rarely going to be a bad Nidoking matchup.
Yeah, because Nidoking is just consistently very good in Nomax.
But I mean, it was also good in Max. Like, it's a very all-around solid Pokemon.
Well, it's way worse in Max.
But like, I think this team could very much just bring a team that's like, it's like Nidoking. It's got Whack and Mesprit, or maybe instead of Mesprit, it's like Lipard. It's got Buzzwole, and you're like, I've already got pretty solid speed control as it stands because I've got the Trick Room option. I might just go Bolton for its support options. I might go Sork for the sturdy, or maybe there's a really useful matchup for Inner Focus. Or I might go Appleton as a win condition. Wishy-washy is an alternative thing. Like there's too many options on this team for me to really feel like they're pressured to bring Torn a lot. I think they might want to bring Whack a lot as well, but Whack's also very good, so
Yeah.
Also, Whack and Nidoking are 2 fairy resists, which they do appreciate. This team has no dragon resist, which is annoying.
Which is pretty par for the course for a lot of teams that we've seen.
Yes, but this is the first one with a dragon weakness, I think.
Yeah, that's also true.
Relatively few teams wind up with a net dragon weakness, I think.
I think that realistically this team will play more tempo than long game.
That's probably where I go.
Yeah,
so
I think
let's look at long game. Mesprit can definitely thrive in a long game. Marowak can thrive in a long game. Nidoking's pretty short game. Torn T, I don't know if this necessarily... it has a reject
Marowak's not going to go to long game nearly as much.
Singles team. It's a regen call.
Singles team. True, it does.
Marowak is pretty good.
I think the Marowak's not going to go to long game that often because like it's going to be running Thick Club for the most part. It's not super specially bulky. It's going to be taken out by like stray water moves here and there.
I think this team probably wants to like switch Marowak into a slot that has like Leech Seed going into it. It's definitely true if it's playing a long game.
Potentially, yeah.
But Marowak will live basically any one hit. In like any one hit that's not guaranteed to kill it Marowak, I don't think Marowak has ever lost a roll. It was like famous last gen for being that mon that survived one of anything. I remember
What an
using
incredible statement. Marowak will most likely live a hit that's not meant to kill it.
No. I mean, like, it'll live like a random scold from like melodic or whatever. If they don't specifically EV to kill it, it'll live.
Yeah.
Like, it pressures you to like actually go in depth in your EV investment. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it'll live a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. Not in the sense of like, you know, oh, you switch Marowak in on a focus blast and it's not gonna die. You know.
Yeah.
I remember like living like a Xerneas with it. It was pretty funny Xerneas check. Did we put the team on? We did. Yeah, I think his team can go to the longer game. Like it's got Lipard for damage reduction. It's got Bolton for damage reduction. It's got Mesprit for damage reduction. It's got Torn for damage reduction. It's got Udno for like a sustain. It's got Boswell for sustain. It's got Appleton for sustain.
It definitely has like bulk, but I don't think it's going to be playing long game for the most part. Is more what I'm trying to say.
I think it might like try and dance around with 3 mons and then have like Whack in the back, and then the one Pokemon that could check Whack is dead, and now Whack wins.
Well, fair.
Same with Nidoking. That's more what I'm thinking of with
Yeah, I think our placement of it is fair.
All right, now we get to my competition, my arch nemesis, the rival. You know, you really hate to see the Virginia Vikavolt in your thing, because you know that they're going to have better content than you. They're going to make you feel like crap. They're going to get all of the things. Apparently, they're getting posted in like let me find what was the weird video that someone like got advertised Jordan's like draft breakdown, and on the video, what girls really get up to at sleepovers, and it got a click through from it. So you know, also on a 1-hour version of the Willerman. What a beautiful human being. You know, our resident game designer.
I like Zapdos G and Persian A together. I think they
Draftables episode.
Work well together.
Draftables episode.
Oranguru being taken.
The secondary
that
water
late is
tentacle.
crazy.
Oh my god.
Yup. That thing's crazy.
The Draftables.
Yeah, Oranguru going 7th pick is crazy.
Yeah, Oranguru getting that light was very strong. Wasn't it like round 2 in the other one? Oranguru's not strong.
It was either round 2 or round 1.
Talking about the like VGC good trick room cause. Oranguru Whack and Oranguru Terminator.
Yeah. Very solid.
Very, very strong. Oranguru's broken.
A team with an actual fairy resist. How cool.
Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, no, I was just waiting for you to notice.
He picks up Tentacle in like in like the over content week.
Yeah.
We took a week between drafting and playing for content.
Got you.
And it still takes me to the last day to get this out. Like you guys can see that it's almost 6 a.m. on Monday, so you know I'm technically into like fighting week. I'm not American, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Like this team's really strong. Black's really good. Turt's really good. Like all of these ones are just like a short Lunatone and Tentacle, but I'm pretty sure they're both 2 points. Oh, Tentacle was 1 point.
2 and
sorry.
1. Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely a team where I feel like Persian A is going to be coming to most
yes,
teams.
But that's because it's broken.
Yeah, it's because it's very good.
But you don't think
same with
Sneasel is
Zapdos,
very
realistically.
good, despite the fact that they do the same thing.
But Persian does it better.
But it's not.
It's Persian.
It doesn't have inner focus, so it's slightly worse. It's also
but it
less
has fur
strong.
coat and technician.
I agree. If Weavile had technician, it'd be really scary.
True. So true.
But you know, I still think it's alright. Persian Lola and Sneasel are very, very similar. But yeah, strong. I mean, Alcremie, I don't have like the greatest fondness for Alcremie, but I know it can definitely do things.
Yeah, Alchemy definitely feels like a whatever kind of mon.
Decorate's just really strong.
I also do want to note that we said that this one wasn't going to go on as long as last, and we're over an hour and halfway through.
Wow.
So sorry we lied to you all.
Okay, I'm looking at the recording. It says it's only an hour 10. And we are on the 8th team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
8th out of 16.
Look, there's just... I'm in this div, so I feel more personally about it.
But I think this team definitely plays pretty wide. Like it's gonna be playing like where a lot of these things can come.
Game, which I think says a lot about this team. In a positive way.
Yeah, it has a lot of things that are pretty expensive. Like 3 15-pointers is a lot for sure. But I think that it definitely it takes its mid-tier picks like pretty well. Like I think a Rotom, a Miltank,
how much
they'll
does
like
this
randomly
Rotom?
come together.
Okay, this Rotom was 5, but the flying type one was 9. I think this Rotom is way better. This Rotom also got picked up in Grace.
I think the other Rotom is way better. It has way better stats, like way better bulk.
But it's got Air Slash. And it's
and Air Slash is a great move.
This Rotom was like broken in BDSP, therefore it must still be broken. No, I have way more respect for a 5-point version of this than a 9-point version of the other one.
Alright, fair enough.
Sorry, let me find... He dropped Fletchling and Krogunk. I don't know that I necessarily think this team is better off for dropping Fletchling. Also, I might look at picking up Fletchling. Yeah, this team's... I don't know, I think Tentacle's good, but I think Fletchling is really good. I think Rotom's really good. And I think Krogunk has Fake Out, which a secondary Fake Out's okay, but I also probably don't rate Krogunk that much.
You think what has Fake Out? Krogunk?
Krogunk, yeah. Baby Toxic.
Where did Krogunk come into this?
That was the Pokemon he dropped.
Oh, gotcha.
For Tentacle. Well, he dropped
gotcha.
Fletchinder and Krogunk for Tentacle and Rotom. I think that Tentacle is better than Krogunk, and Rotom is better but less useful on a team with no Tailwind and a lot of mons that don't mind Tailwind at all. Like Alchemy, like Marowak.
This team definitely would like Tailwind.
I don't fully understand the transaction, I suppose is what I'm getting at. But this team's still solid.
That's fair.
I'd say this team is very wide for a team that should not be wide.
Exactly.
And then this team definitely plays to a mid game.
I think it plays more tempo than it does long game, but I think
it plays pretty mid game.
It can do long games. Yeah, I would definitely put it like
long game. Can it facilitate getting onto a long game? Very much a mon that thrives in the late game is Turtonator. It's okay in the early game, but if you get to a late game with Turt, it can be really crazy. Whack, I think this Whack is, let's say, more of a short game sort of mon. Build up. Can it help you get to a late game with Cloud9? That's about all I can think about saying with it. I suppose it can also can help you get to a late game. Oranguru is both a very tempo and like a long game sort of mon, because you can instruct setup moves or offense. I wonder if you can instruct Geomancy to finish on the same turn. I don't know if that's how that works or not.
No, it would just make you use Geomancy again.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Does that mean you would get 2 Geomancies next turn?
No, because... What?
So you Geomancy without Power Herb, without Mental Herb.
Oh, you're saying do it without Power Herb both times.
Yeah.
I don't know, I've never seen it in terms of that.
Yeah, I haven't. Sorry, I was just thinking about that. There's no other 2-turn setup moves besides Skull Bash, so it's not super relevant, but it just came to mind. You know, for those Smeagol enthusiasts. You instruct... look, the other thing about this Rotom is it a stab Hex. I think this one's better than Spin. No.
I disagree.
Certainly for 5 versus 9. This mod is definitely not half as good as Spin.
I don't know. I think that it's fine, but losing those 30 in both defenses is pretty big.
I mean, not if you get a faster Wisp than the other Pokemon did, because it was slower than the Pokemon it's Wisping.
Yeah, but it's 5-point difference in speed. And it gains so much in terms of its offense and defenses.
I don't know. It's not trade-offs I'd make, especially not for the flying type one.
Yeah. Also just electric flying.
I like the ice one a lot less.
Better type.
Miltank is good. Lunaturn's funny. I don't know if Miltank is going to be
Yeah.
that impactful because they do have the Oranguru, but Miltank is strong. It can be strong, and it can do support. Just get Helping Hand, it does. I was not sure. It's pretty fast and it's strong. It's a good combination. I already put it on the list. I meant to click on the new one, I just had forgotten that I was trying to. This is the Wolfpack Welders with Zero's Gallop.
And with the next team, we see 5 13-pointers. This team really just looked at the board and said, let me take all of those.
You can get 10 9-pointers and then a 5-pointer.
And meanwhile, only picked up one 13-pointer that could do damage.
Which one is the one 13-pointer that can do damage? Wheezing?
Hydrai.
Wheezing. I'm gonna say it's Wheezing.
Huh?
Dude, Wheezing's super strong.
It's 9085. It's not bad, but like, are you discrediting Hydreigon?
Yes. No, I think that,
yeah,
I think
it's...
Drifloon can do damage. I think Wheezing can do damage. I think Registeel can probably do more damage than a Dragon can.
What?
That body press is nuts, man. I don't know what to tell you. And
no, I don't disagree, but like, it's Hydreigon. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think
105, 125. When you're clicking Dark Pulse and Dragon Pulse, that's a...
Hydreigon's good.
You're clicking Scale Shot.
Good.
Hydreigon's
and then it's another Gigas Wheezing team.
Oh, it does have Gigas.
Yeah.
Drizzle's really good. Noibat is not a Pokemon. Drizzle won a speed tour for me by itself with Standard. I think I killed the Dragapult with it.
What does it do?
Same thing as any water type does. It's bulky. It has dual screens. I set up dual screens.
No, I'm talking about Drizzle.
Yeah, I'm talking about Drizzle.
Just call it bulky. It's 65, 55, 55.
Yeah, but it's got Eviolite. Who cares? It's behind screens.
Yeah, fair.
It doesn't matter. I had on a team with Feeny, and it was I had 2 of them, and it was good. This team also has 2 of them. It's got Walrein. It got an earlier Walrein. Walrein is good. Girder is good.
True. Walrein does not die.
What?
Walrein does not die.
That's true. Sorry, I thought you said does not lie, and I'm like, what?
Oh no. Well, it doesn't. It
doesn't. It's never lied. This is funny. This team is really funny. This team's matchups into things are very weird.
Yeah,
I think this team is the most and least top-heavy team all at once.
Yeah. This team similarly, I think, does not like matching up into good steel types.
This team does not like matching up into good fighting types. It says it has fighting resists, but they don't actually beat fighting types, except for Wheezing.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it's Wheezing, that's about it.
Right, but what I'm saying is Meowstic loses to fighting types. Drifloon can very easily lose to fighting types, mostly because it's Flying Stabs, Acrobatics, and Air Cutter. So if your opponent...
Oh, don't forget about Gust.
Wouldn't you just run an Air Cutter? Or does it not get Air Cutter in this format? Does it have to use Gust?
Air Cutter is spread. So if you want to use single target special flying, then you have to use Gust.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Air Cutter with reduction goes down from 60 to 40, and then Gust is still just 40.
Yeah, which would be same as Gust. What if they have Wide Guard? Come on.
That's true. I hadn't considered it like that. You're always reminding me to take the important things into account.
And also, Air Cutter can miss. For whatever reason.
I didn't know Gust was 100% accurate before now, I suppose.
Yeah.
This team has got 2 good dual screen size. I think, sorry, the main thing I did with Drizzle was click Icy Wind and Life Dew.
Yeah.
Both very good moves.
Yeah, I'll admit that it surprised me at 90 speed. It can definitely do something.
Oh yeah, super fast.
And
it's pretty strong.
And then Excalibur being up at the top.
Meowstic's pretty fast.
It's only fake out being Meowstic is not a detriment, but I would think that it would like a different fake out because Meowstic is one of the fake out mons that you really don't want to run fake out on it that often.
I don't know. Meowstic is a mon that I find my opponents don't want to run fake out on, and then they don't click fake out with it, and then I win. That's been most of my experience against Meowstic. Every time they click fake out, I lose. Every time they don't click fake out, I win.
Gotcha. Well, maybe that's the skill issue then.
Diagnosis skill issue.
Truly.
Does Snarl really do that much damage?
Nah.
Just a reminder to the Sylveon user, the Hydreigon will throat drop your Sylveon if you are not running Moonblast.
Indeed. Just a strict reminder.
It's guaranteed. That said, you should probably run both anyways because, you know, wide guard.
True.
I like Registeel in this team. It's pretty good. This team doesn't really...
Yeah, Registeel is interesting. It doesn't help with the losing to fighting types, but...
I think the Registeel is one of the main reasons it does lose to fighting types.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that it's Hydreigon and Registeel and Regigigas. But that's also just an issue with their fighting resist, struggling to, like, really deal with opposing fighting types. Because you have to run offensive Meowstic for it to deal with opposing fighting types, because A3's attack is otherwise not doing enough. Weezing is not... Weezing is too slow. Noibat's not real. Drifloon just doesn't have the move base power. It's functionally using a 40 base power move for super effective damage. But Strength Sap can do stuff, depending on the fighting type.
Yep.
And Excelgor doesn't beat fighting. So, like, it final gambits them, which is funny. Excelgor is a funny Pokemon.
It is. Is it very good? Eh.
It's fine. It's just fine.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
Yeah, I feel like Registeel is really pressured to do a lot of the defensive pulling weight in this team.
Same with Weezing. Weezing and Registeel both.
Yeah.
Well, and Walrein, actually.
Really? You think? You think Walrein?
Walrein is one of the better defensive mons on this team, yeah.
No, I don't disagree with that. I just don't know how much it's actually going to be carrying a team. Walrein has matchups, but I don't know if they are.
Well, I don't think this team is going to be carried defensively anyways.
But it has so many Pokemon that are predominantly defensive, like Meowstic, Drifloon, Weezing, Registeel, Gerda, Walrein.
Yeah, it does.
Like,
yeah.
This team is like a long game ass team. I mean, even Hydreigon is not super good tempo, but it's really decent mid game and really, really good long game. Like Eject Pack Draco is funny. Beyond that, I don't know. Also, this Meowstic can't run competitive. Ignore that. There's no like Meowstic male option. There's only a Meowstic female option.
The wrong ability.
No, it says both of them.
Oh, it does show both. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't feel like this team's alright. It's pretty good. Neutralizing Gas is broken, and they do have Misty Terrain with Drifloon, and Drifloon does really love a seed. So, did we already place the team? I think I might have. No, I didn't. I just looked at it.
No, we did not.
This team is wide. This team is, I'd say, long game.
Definitely
focused.
pretty wide.
It's
Yeah,
not great,
I would say something like that. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Maybe a little bit more on the wide side. All right, Tay. Tay
Let's take a look at Tay's team.
Tay is the antagonist of the series. Tay is the person we expect to win. If Tay wins, you know, Tay's in that unfortunate position of being really good, which means if you perform, it doesn't mean anything, and if you underperform, it means a lot.
Yeah.
Also, the South Texas Slowpokes. One thing Tay also definitely performs on is the quality of the logo. It's a good logo.
Yeah,
it might also be like a football team, but I don't know.
Oh, there's another team that fell victim to the 16-point Araquanid.
It fell victim? I don't know that it fell victim.
It's so expensive.
Yes, but does that matter if you have one bad mon?
Fair. I mean, I don't see this team as like super busted. I don't think it's bad.
So Kang is really good. Zerk is really good. Koff's really good. Archeops is really good. Your Araquanid is mostly good because of the Archeops and like the Koff, but it's pretty well supported.
Yeah, it has really Archeops for Tailwind,
really good,
which is nice for like the circuitry for sure.
Pangoro is really good. Morlul is a meme. Heatmore is a meme, but is okay. And Sandaconda is a meme, but is okay.
Yeah, Morlul is slow spore, and that's about it.
It doesn't even have helping hand. I was expecting to see Morlul on at least like one or two of these, but it was not.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's only on Kang and Pangoro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this team
it's an
like
interesting
a really
team.
comprehensive defensive matchup. Even if you delete like it's still okay if you delete these. Metang at 3 is pretty good. Like it's still
Metang is definitely not bad.
I don't know. Maybe it's overline on Metang and probably a bit on Pangoro, but I think its theme is good. It also just like hits. There's no type that it really struggles to break. Like, there's no Pokemon I look at and like, oh, this team isn't going to be able to break them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because it turns out Circuitry and Araquanid are both really good at breaking things. Who would have thought?
Yeah. And along with Pangoro and Haxorus.
Yeah, and Kang, Cofagrigus.
It's definitely like aside from Circuitry, much more physically sided in terms of its offense. Like you can run special Archeops for sure.
Thank you.
But I just wouldn't consider Archeops the most consistent breaker by really any means.
You're a heartbreaker. You were the consistent breaker. I mean, Metang. Well, no, Metang's attack is terrible. Bro,
yeah,
why is Metang so much? I know we said this last time. Why is Metang so much worse than Metagross?
Yeah, it just gains a straight up 180 base stat total. It just gains a ton. They're
also in just like everywhere.
Yeah. It's not like it gains 60 attack, which is so massive for Metagross.
Even the attack is good, and the defenses are good, and the HP is good.
Yeah. Isn't Metagross only like 70 or something special attack?
I think it's more than that. I don't know. I've run Mio.
No, it's 95.
Yeah, it's 95. Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure I've run like special. It used to run like mixed a lot back when Psychic was always special. South Texas Slowpokes. This team is, I'd say, relatively top heavy because it is pretty reliant on Zerk to break. Like if Scrappy didn't make you immune to Intimidate, this team would like not break physically against Intimidate mons at all.
Yeah.
But it does, so, you know. Turns out, making Intimidate balanced made some teams better.
Yeah, truly.
So I'd say this team is relatively top-heavy, and then it's got good tempo and good long game, but I'd say it definitely favors tempo, just not strongly.
Yeah, I would agree it favors tempo by a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a fair spot to put it.
Alright. And funnily enough, I didn't realize they were right back-to-back, but this is my protagonist of the series. This is James. James has had some really great performances. He's had some incredibly close games. Recently, he's been on a bad spell, but I think this is the time that James will turn it around. I am incredibly confident that, like, look, I was asked who do I think is going to win, and I do think it's James. James's team is good. James's morale is good. James has got good people supporting him in prep. James is in the best position he could possibly be, and I have faith.
Well, if you believe, then I trust.
Look.
That being said, I just looked at some of the weaknesses for this team, and holy shit does it lose to ice types and fairy types.
Look, I was going to draft Omastar, therefore it must be a good ice resist.
Yeah, with that special defensive 70.
Yep.
I think that Como is under-tiered. I think that Como is really good, personally. Like, just super, super versatile. It can live so well.
Just like not the ice and fairy types.
Yeah, just not the ice and fairy types. It appreciates the Tailwind from Noivern, doesn't appreciate that Noivern has so many overlaps in terms of weaknesses.
Yeah, I think it honestly more appreciates like the Icy Wind from Tentacruel almost, and like Fake Out and Quash from Sableye.
Yeah, definitely. It appreciates the options for all the different speed control on this team.
Uxie is really good on this team. I like Hippo on this team as well. I think Hippo just kind of works.
Uxie's it's a good defensive piece on this team, for sure.
I think if this team did have a better ice matchup, perhaps if it had like a tanky ice type itself, this team would just
or a fire type even.
Oh, fire type would be nice, but also not great with Hippo. It's like I just want something that the Hippo can sit next to a click Earthquake, like a Cryogonal or something. I don't know if Cryogonal was even legal. I don't know if I'm not even sure it's in this gen. I think it is, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah. And definitely Stoutland being your Sand Rusher is not bad, but Stoutland can do a lot, to be fair.
Stoutland is versatile, it's just that it doesn't have Return or Retaliate. Yeah. Sorry, so it only has Retaliate.
Yeah. And Facade. Depending.
And Facade.
Yeah, no, this definitely feels like a team that, like, aside from like Uxie, will kind of be bringing things to a pretty fast game. But then you have setup on.
Sorry,
Como.
aside from like Uxie. Sorry, do you see the Sableye and the Hippo?
I don't think Sableye is a long game on. Sableye is like get like 2 or 3 support moves and die,
Sableye's like
or
okay.
people just ignore it.
You and I clearly use Sableye incredibly differently. I always thought of Sableye as like the long-term prankster mod.
Well, I think it's long term because so many people ignore it.
Look, I run like Snarl, Wisp, Recover, maybe Fake Out, maybe Protect.
Mm-hmm.
That one's broken. It's got one weakness.
Oh, I don't think it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that people ignore it a lot. Is there another prankster
mod
it lives so long
that can long game as well? I don't think of one, but I'm also stupid. So.
Well, I don't think most prankster mods can really long game. That's like the whole thing with them, is like they're so frail.
But Mega Sableye is in Ubers in Gen 6. Very relevant.
It doesn't have prankster.
No, in Gen 6 it has prankster on the Turnip Megas.
Oh yeah, on the Turnip Megas.
Yeah. No, sorry, you were talking about it not being bulky. That was why I responded with Mega Sableye in the Ubers in like the last 3 days of the gen. This team's okay. I don't know if Blossom is real. I don't know if Emolga is real, but all the other mods are real. Like Bulldog, I think Emolga is like okay.
Emolga's like fine. It's definitely like same with almost all mediocre flying types. It loses something from not being in max. But like really? It's not bad.
It loses nuzzling and full powering the opposing max Pokemon because
it loses being able to max airstream as well.
Was it good at max airstreaming? Was it going to do it on the Noivern?
In max, any flying type instantly gets like a 5% minimum boost.
Okay. So you think
like just being able to max airstream is instantly a huge buff for things. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't think Emolga is like really good.
Like bounce. More so than Emolga. I think Boldor is pretty good. As far as Eviolite mods go, its Fizdef is absurdly good, and its Spadef gets Boldor's kind of covered up for by Hippo. Because like that 2 points is pretty good. It's got Sand Force. You can also just
actually run Sand Force Boldor,
Yeah, I mean, I assume that's what you'd run.
Or like Sturdy as well.
You could run Sturdy, but I think that often it's with Eviolite, it's going to live that one hit anyways. But it's possible it won't. The fact that it's not competing for an Eviolite slot makes it, I think, a lot better here. Omastar is okay. You can like Rain Dance next to Omastar, which is funny. That's really all you can do. Otherwise, I don't think Omastar is amazing. I know I was considering Omastar like this round, but in the wheel like bit between these two, but I didn't want to going for it myself because I am a coward. Double Rock is really annoying to a lot of opposing teams. The fact that it's got decent Trick Room setting, and then Boldor is like actually a really good Trick Room abuser, and then like with Hippo, it's Sandforce Trick Room abusing, is actually I think really scary for a lot of opposing teams. This team has really good speed control, I think is mostly what I'm thinking. This team can play a long game.
The team has a lot of speed control. The main thing that I see with Boldor and Trick Room is that pretty much you will be bringing Uxie Hippowdon Boldor instantly as like 3 of the 4 to that match.
And then Sableye.
Which then...
Most likely.
Yeah, probably. Which, like,
maybe
that doesn't have, like, a ton of breaking potential always, but I'd be interested to see how it goes.
118 is a pretty good defense stat for breaking. 105 with the Sandforce boost, which is Sandforce 1.2 or 1.3?
I think it's Life Orb.
Okay, so that'd be 1.3. Like, look, you slap a Choice Band and a Life Orb onto a Mon when it's clicking Rock Blast, it's going to KO a lot of Mons.
Yeah, it'll do something for sure.
I have faith.
Like I said, I'll be interested to see how it goes. This team also just period doesn't have a lot of like high offensive stats, so it's definitely going to be playing for more like setup a lot, I think.
But I think if it fixes the ice weakness, this team becomes really good because I absolutely adored Hippo and Skarmory, and I think I might have had a third Mon, were all just Mons that I won games of because I killed everything that could kill it, which was often only 1 or 2 Pokemon of a set of 4, and then it could like slack off or roost or recover until it won. Latias, I think, was the other one I used to play. And that's very much like a real way to win games. So the fact that you have a Mon that can do that, it'd be great if you could support that maybe a bit better. So getting a Fire type or an Ice type would be really strong for this team.
Yeah, getting
there are like no Fire
ice
types.
resists. or losing some of the ice weaknesses.
I don't know why Mogo's on this team.
Yeah, Emolga Blossom just feel like they're sort of filling roles.
Blossom at least I think
like,
will actually do something.
Definitely like I guess getting ground resists on a team that isn't super ground weak. Outside of the bottom two, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
No reason to stack a bunch of ground resists when you aren't weak to ground at all. Like this team has, it's just Tentacruel and then the bottom two. Everything else is good into ground. This team is really good into opposing grounds, at least. Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of fires that are free. So that might be the thought process. Obviously, Fletchender, I think, is the fire one. Flareon is still free. Honestly, I'm surprised Flareon's free. It's pretty good. Though I think you were hating on Flareon. I think you were the Flareon hater.
It's not that good.
I think it's fine. Is free.
Combustion is similarly not good.
It's also, I mean, I think Combustion is actually decent in this format specifically, because a lot of Pokemon won't have as much coverage for it, because they'll only have Earthquake, and it can coach really well into Hippo. Or theoretically other mons, but I think best into Hippo. All right, so now we're here to Machidoom, because we didn't have enough Weebs yet. This is the Singapore Sligoos. I hate Crocodile. Why is it the first pick on this team? Why does this team not have a Sand Setter? Hippopotas is in this format. Why do they not have it with Dracozolt? Why
it doesn't have a Sand Setter for Dracozolt. It does
you have a good ground type anyways. Why do you have...
Yeah, exactly.
I hate this team. I don't like this team.
Glalie went second pick. Gali.
Oh, this picked up the Fletchender. I see. Or maybe the other one was Fletchling. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sort of looking at this team and I'm thinking like, oh, cool. I think Crocodile's not bad. I think Nidoqueen's not bad. That's all I had to say.
This late game is pretty good. The Talonflame, Baby Talonflame is supporting some okay mods. I never understood why they took Glalie.
Yeah, Glalie second pick is like, I would never pick Glalie for anything other than, oh, hey, I had like a few points remaining.
Glalie is just, it's 80 base stats total, right? And there's no evasiveness or accuracy boosting in Moody anymore. So, what is it doing?
Just Moody boosting, like, that's literally it. It's Moody boosting or it's trying to go for like, sheer cold cheese.
Moody boosting or trying to go for sheer cold cheese. Yeah, Moody boosting with sheer cold. I mean, that you generally want to do both, right?
I mean, yeah, you could. Like, you don't really need to sheer cold with Moody because sheer cold doesn't get affected by accuracy boosts.
Yeah, no, you appreciate it not having that. Sorry. The other thing it runs is the crit move. What's the crit move called?
Frost Breath?
Yeah. I don't know if it gets that in this format. I would assume it does, but I'd like just to be clear.
It does not.
It doesn't?
I don't think it gets Frost Breath, period.
It definitely does, because it ran it in Ubers and then got banned from Ubers.
It does in Natdex. Yeah.
Okay.
And, it does in this too. Okay, no mind.
I'm pretty sure it's a level up move. And I don't think it was cut because it was this gen that it was banned from Ubers. I don't know, I think this team's okay. But, sorry, I take that back. This team's really bad.
I think this team is not good.
This team is like 6 months. This is the top heavy team, right? So Fletchender is the best one. Then Dracozolt, like you're using Hustle Dracozolt a lot here, but that's okay. Nidoqueen's really good. Gallied is okay. I guess you can like beat it up with Crook. Starmie is okay. Galvantula is not very good, but it's okay.
Galvantula is fine.
Wigglytuff is terrible. Sceptile is terrible. Clang is really just here to set Trick Room, but for what? The Wigglytuff?
Yeah.
You know?
for the least slow Trick Room right? Team. Yeah.
And then, these other mons are just not good. And then even then, like, Crook's not really good. Starmie's kind of weird to overlap with Gallade. Galvantula's not good. Like, when you already have other tail...
is also not that good.
What, sorry?
Gallade also realistically is not super good.
Without beat up, yeah.
Yeah, because like it doesn't even get inner focus.
Yeah, and then like...
So it's not like...
Yeah, sorry, because Galvantula...
It's minute immune.
With Fletchender. No, yeah, Gallade's specifically good because of Justified. I mean, like, it's okay. Like, as far as fighting types goes, it's pretty decent. Because it can break flying pretty reliably with Triple Axle. But yeah, then like Fletchender and Galantula both are just like fast speed control, these sort of mods that don't actually do much besides mitigate damage.
Yep.
And also like Dracozolt and Galantula have like so then like you're doing this, and the army's not that strong. This team is like, let me just and then it's really only ever playing to tempo because it doesn't have survivability. So
yeah, exactly. It doesn't really have survivability, but it also doesn't just have like
just so you can see the team
breaking a lot. You put it like right in like tempo top heavy.
Yep. It's the only thing it can do, and it doesn't do it well.
Yeah, fair.
I just don't really understand what happened with this draft.
I'd probably put this team like right in the middle of everything, just because I don't think it does anything.
You think this team's wide?
No, I think this team just doesn't do anything.
Then, no, that's a compliment. Things that are balanced. A balanced team is good.
Yeah, fair.
These teams towards the edges can also be good. Like, none of this is really like... Some of these are criticisms of the team, and this, I think, is the direst criticism of the team. Look, prove me wrong. I'd be more than happy to be proven wrong, except on Crocodile. I refuse. Nothing will ever convince me. Alright, this team also has no fake out. Which, again, doesn't kill a team. It's certainly not been the only team with no fake out, but it doesn't help when you're attempting.
Having no fake out with Fletchender is really big, though.
I often just protect turn 1 with the non-talent flame ones anyways. But yeah, Electric. Please insult my team.
This team blows.
This team is Thunderous. I don't think that's a usable Pokemon in non-match.
You have so many speed tiers, which I think is insane. Like
so
you have like
tiers.
one well, like so many like towards the top. Like sorry, not so many speed tiers.
So many
you have so many high speed mons above 100.
Sorry, it's like you have so many speed tiers. You mean like
sorry.
Like I guess these
you
are
have
kind of,
like
I guess there's this, and then like, these are kind of close together, and then these are kind of close together, and then this, and then these, and then these two are close together, but this one is like 41, 46, 51, 56.
Yeah, so this team, the thing that I see with this team is that it's gonna play HO as shit. It's gonna like, I think you're gonna be like, at least the way I see this, you're gonna be forced to play offense a lot.
Sorry, see the Latios, like, the Thunderous, the Quillfish. Are you just like?
I don't consider Thunderous going for long game at all. That thing.
It's the bulky prankster mod. Sorry. Have we ever heard of a guy named Ray Rizzo?
Yeah, this is fair. But don't forget, that's also in standard as opposed to in
Gen
draft.
5.
Yeah, also Gen 5 when T-Wave was like
and Swagger.
The most broken move.
Both Swagger and Confusion hadn't been nerfed, and Prankster hadn't been nerfed. Thunderous is a mon that, because of the bulky thing, look, I think that Ribombi is here to facilitate offense. I think Ribombi in that dex is the best HO mon. Period. There's no better support mon. In this team, it's got Speed Swap instead of Tailwind, but that's still really strong. I specifically did that because I've got mons that are decent to Speed Swap to Aggron. You can even run like the bulky Pumpkaboo with the teams that are super weak to Ghost. Surfetched is absurdly, insanely strong. I was originally planning on Triple Rock, so like my draft started, I had Latias, and I was like Lycanroc Dusk, and then I planned on picking up Aggron and Kabutops. I wound up ditching on the Kabutops idea. And
then you were going to get Almastar.
Yeah, well, the Kabutops was briefly Caracosta, it was briefly Barbaracle, it was briefly Omastar.
Gotcha.
It turns out water rock types are kind of interchangeable, except Dreadnought, because that one sucks.
Yeah, true. I also don't know why it's not showing this, but Ribombi also gets Tailwind.
No, not in this gen.
It doesn't get it in Gen 8?
No. Ribombi would be the best Pokemon ever with Tailwind.
Oh, I thought it did. That's whack.
That's why I took a forfeit win this week, because I was playing against Ribombi. And then my opponent didn't show up for half the week, and then said, I'm going to need an extension on Saturday after ignoring my pings and waiting till the mods ping. Because Ribombi 6-0'd my team.
Yeah.
Ribombi is absurdly good with Tailwind. If this Ribombi had Tailwind, it would be, I think, probably top 5 mons in this format instead of a 10-pointer.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Thunderous, but Thunderous never learns Tailwind. I think Flygon also gets Tailwind in non-max. I think regular Farfetch gets Tailwind, so Surfetch will probably get it whenever it becomes a tutor move. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if like one of it, like a couple of the other mons will end up getting it in some bizarre thing. Look, I think a lot of the question is going to come down to, is Pumpkaboo as good as I hope it is Sharpedo as good as I hope it is? Because I'm high on coping with both of them. I think Lycanroc Dusk is absurdly good at 8 points. My team smashes through a lot of the types people are weak to. Dragon, Rock, Fairy, Electric, Fire, Water, and Fighting, and Ground. That's 8 types that, like, I do have offensive options for. I just don't know if I feel like I'm not going to be consistent enough, or like that's just going to come what the question is. I think I definitely, if I had a fake out mon, I'd feel much more confident, but there are none of them.
Yeah. I see this as a team where the first 4 and Surfetched are going to be coming to most weeks, most likely.
You doubt my ability to be a Thunderous hater.
Why'd you draft it? You don't like it. Like,
I had 1,000,000 points. So I had like 10... I think I had 9 mons planned, and I had like 30 points left, and so I picked up Thunderous.
Yeah.
Because it was 16 points.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I regretted it immediately, but, you know. Thunderous is probably good. I don't know. I think that I'm most likely going to bring Latias or Rabombi every game, and everything else is kind of like Lycanroc Dusk and Aggron are super interchangeable. You can bring both, but you're often only going to bring one. Generally, in a team of 4, you're definitely only going to bring one. Look,
yeah, definitely in a team of 4, you're only going to bring one, and Aggron will be the one getting shafted for the most part because it's bad.
Well, it's also my Trick Room.
Yeah, true. Your Trick Room at 50 speed.
Aggron's stronger.
Yeah, but stronger than Lycanroc?
Yeah, Head Smash is stronger.
No, it's not.
117
but
versus
117
110.
attack with Tough Claws.
Edge is not boosted by Tough Claws.
Yeah, this is true.
Neither is Rock Slide nor Rock Blast. Only Excel Rock. So it's stronger just because of Head Smash, but it also does have Rock in, which is funny. And it's got Heavy Metal for if I want Heavy Slam to actually do damage.
Heavy Slam.
Much better in metas when non-Dynamax. Look, I have faith in Aggron. I think I'm mostly going to be running Sturdy or Rocket on it, to be fair. I think Magmar's really good. I think Sharpedo's really... I think most of these mons are pretty flexible. And I think I definitely can run a longer game. Because I specifically made the Quillfish change because I wanted the ability to run a longer game. Also got Snipe on Executive, and that's why I have a Pumpkaboo. I think Flygon's okay. Do you think Flygon's okay?
I think Flygon, Max. Fine.
Yeah, I had very positive opinion. Alright. So I think I'm definitely like a tempo-ish team, but whereabouts do you think
I think it airs way more towards tempo. From how I see it, I would see this as a somewhat top-heavy team, okay. But based on what you said, you think it's like more
I'd say it's
in the middle,
top-heavy. I don't know. Whereabouts do you think I should be putting it?
Like, I would say probably like, yeah, right about there. Okay. Realistically, I think.
We're not allowed to tell who was in Grove City. Also, wow, that color choice is immaculate.
Yeah, it really matches well. Now we're on to AC.
Yeah, the London Aces. This is the person who had to wait on a lot.
Oh. I like... They have cool offensive prowess.
Really? They have like 1 strong one. 2 strong ones. I didn't notice the Blacephalon one. Alright, so Naga's terrible.
Yeah.
Talonflame is not offensively strong.
Naga is not terrible.
Rotom is mediocre. Mine is okay. Dog is okay. Butterfree, there's the redirection. Blacephalon is really strong. Brione,
this team
I don't know if that one's
is
good.
Gonna be...
It's 91%, but only 50 speed. Mienfoo,
that one's
broken.
Brion is like fine.
Jigglypuff, wait. Something is wrong here.
What?
4 Eviolitis.
Oh yeah,
sure, you can like count off
4 Evioliters, but unlike the other team, this team is only going to be maybe bringing one of them to most matches.
I think you might often bring... If you're ever bringing
you
Brione,
might bring 2.
Mienfoo or mine. One of these mons is coming most games. And then Brione is also kind of okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just because his team's super weak to water and ice. And it's, Brione is their only water ice check.
This team is not... This team does not have, like, physical prowess, really. Like, it has Bisharp, and it has Blasef, I guess.
In one of the team's things, I used Weavile next to Naga, I faked his the Weavile, and then I hit a Fire Blast, and the Steel type didn't die. I don't rate Naga.
Fair.
I don't rate Bishop much either. And then Jigglypuff.
Yeah,
Is
I think Bisharp is super fine.
This team's
It's just
dragon
like it's a
matchup is
steel.
terrible.
It's a steel type that dies super easily. Yeah,
This team's
it
Trick
doesn't
Room
have a.
matchup is terrible.
Yeah,
Butterfree's funny though.
yeah.
This team is
This
like
team, this
relying
team
on
has a
sleep
lot
pattern.
of difficulties into a lot of different archetypes for sure.
But it's like it's got one of the fastest mons with Prankster Tail. It's got two super fast mons with Prankster Tailwind, and then Clown's pretty fast, and Mime is also pretty fast. So it can win.
Yeah.
This is just more HO than I'd like, and also struggles, I think, into priority a decent bit.
Yeah.
I also don't know
sure.
if Doug is good or not on this team. It
I
doesn't seem like
I
any of
think
Doug's
Doug is
great.
super okay. I don't think it's that good.
I think Doug is super situational. There are some teams where Doug is amazing, and I'm not seeing that. I don't know if I'm seeing that this is one of those teams.
Yeah.
But it could be. I could just be wrong. Yep, I don't know.
Yeah, it could.
I feel like
I
if
could
this
be
team
proven
wasn't
wrong.
competing with Mime and Mienfoo with Brione, I feel like you're going to feel pressured to run Sash Mime so that you can run Eviolite Brione so that you don't just lose to water types.
Yeah.
Which is not a great combination, but it's fine. Does
Yeah,
Brione have
definitely
good
not.
stats defensively? Because look at its attack 60, 69, 81.
No, it's
That's
60,
possible.
69,
It's fine with
81. It's
Eviolite.
not
It's
bad.
not going to be good without it. Unless you run Assault Vest on the Mon, because another Mon is Eviolite.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like the
Definitely
team
strong.
is fine. It doesn't have a ton of immediate offensive presence, which is sort of what you want with Talonflame.
It's very much just
Um,
mons I don't rate.
Yeah, I think that's
like
fair.
Naganadel is no Pheromosa. It's no Boss Ball. You're using like Sludge Bomb, which is 90 base power. Using Draco, which is dropping your offensive capabilities. Then Bishop, also low base power moves, but it benefits a lot from Intimidate. But then you didn't draft that many physical attackers. Like you drafted Doug, who cares? You drafted Talonflame,
Yeah.
who cares? And then you drafted Mienfoo, who has Inner Focus, which it will probably be running most weeks. So again, who cares? I don't even know what
Yeah,
Butterfree's
exactly.
for. Is it just like this team doesn't have Trick Room? So like, what is Butterfree for?
It's for Rage Powder redirection.
Right,
Like,
but that's what what's it redirecting for?
I mean, you can just redirect next to like an offensive mon. Like,
Right,
It doesn't need
so
to be.
you get a KO, and then I still doubt most of these mons are not great at getting KOs without super effective stab into them. So then,
yeah,
if you're getting a KO, but they're getting two KOs, because they're first KOing you, the Butterfree, and then they're like, because this team's rock matchup's not good.
yeah,
So they're clicking Rock Blast, right? And then you KO the Pokemon that click Rock Blast, or you don't. You do like 80% to it, and then they KO your offensive mon. Are you really getting that much out of Butterfree?
yeah. Not a ton.
I just don't think this team gets that much out of Butterfree. This team has super tempo, but it's not good. That's the problem. It's just
Yeah.
its tempo is not great.
I think definitely along the same vein as that
It's
other team
tempo,
we reviewed.
and then I'd say relatively top heavy, but it's not that top heavy. Like, I think there is, like, Jigglypuff is the only mon that is never coming to a game. Like, it can come to a game, but, like, it's not a mon that, like, you feel is going to do a lot in a game. It's a mon you bring because it's fun. Whereas Brione, you're often going to feel pressured to bring. And that's also true for mine, and that's also true for Mienfoo, and then that's also true for Cephalon. Maybe not Butterfree, but Butterfree still is Butterfree, right? Then Doug and Ronan
Yeah.
Bishop, and it's just like, I don't know, it's kind of a mess. I'm probably going to lean a little bit more towards... No. Alright. Second last team, Heracross, and the Illinois Infernapes.
This team strikes me as very interesting. It's another team that got Mawile very early, which is still very interesting to me.
I'm pointing a gun at the microphone. So you stop disrespecting Mawile. That mon won a lot of
I'm
VGC
gonna keep
fame.
disrespecting Mawile.
Look,
Mawile is a mon.
watch
Mawile is
my-
a mon you get to reflect type with.
watch my season 5 playlist. You'll have respect. Himmeltop's really good.
Okay.
Porygon 2 is really good. Wait, Hippopotas? Slowpoke Galar?
Yeah. They
What?
they got two of the most expensive support mons and then didn't get offense. Like,
I mean, they got
it has
Glastrier,
Glastrier and Reuniclus.
They have Sand.
This is a very heavy Trick Room team,
And
like
then
for
Sand.
sure. Yeah, but it's like sand with sand slash. Like it's
Sand
not
Slash
like
is
it's
alright.
like good sand.
Sand Slash got high horsepower? I don't think it does, actually.
No, I don't think it does. I think it gets stomping tantrum, which is like
There's another
significant
one,
more
isn't there?
in terms of what single target physical ground moves.
Yeah, I think there's another one. I think it's that one.
I don't believe so, but maybe.
I think there's one that's fairly
Drill Run?
limited distribution.
Is that what you're talking about?
What, sorry?
Are you talking about Drill Run?
Yeah.
Yeah. Drill Run's, yeah, it's 80 power, 95% accuracy.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. I think Sand Slash might get that.
It does.
It does? Okay. Sorry, my thing took a while to load. It does?
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Dig for a second, and I was like, there's no way.
It definitely does get Dig.
It does get Dig, 100%. But yeah, I believe it gets Drill Run in this gen.
Yeah, it does.
I know it gets it at some
Drill
point.
Run was the move I was thinking of. I was like, there's another one that isn't Stomping Tantrum or High Horsepower, because I don't think this does get... Oh, it does get Stomping Tantrum as well. Yeah, I didn't think it did, but I was wrong. But yeah, Drill Run...
So
Honestly,
this team is super, super interesting to me, because it's obviously going pretty hard on the trick.
Why are there so many EVL mods on this team?
Yeah, there are a few.
Why are there like 2 hard, dedicated EVL trick roomists?
Well, like, you're not... I don't think they have any reason to run Slowpoke.
I think Slowpoke is probably better than Slowbro.
Really?
Just a setting Trick Room? Yes.
Maybe.
Look, Wolfie VGC. I think someone got... okay, so basically it was legal, but you could actually bring it to event. So someone played one of the regionals with it and got, like, top 4. And it, like, came to games, because it has support moves.
I remember that.
Wolfie VGC. It played some ladder with it, while it was technically illegal. This team just doesn't switch into stuff. For a team that's mostly defensive mods, that's a weird statement. This team has 1 fire resist. It's Slowbro. Slowbro is an okay fire resist, but until they run Power Hub Solar Beam. But that's weaker in Sand from Hippo, but so is Slowbro. I don't know. I don't know about this team. Heracross took over after someone left after they got announced, and I appreciate them taking over. But I think this is their first draft, and I do think that is starting to show. No Dark type really sucks for this team.
Yeah, this is for sure.
That said, this team does use a lot of opposing weaknesses. This team really is a fire type, but there's none. There's still Flareon. I don't know why this team has Reuniclus, Slowbro, and Slowpoke Galar. I do not think Slowpoke Galar is better at setting up Trick Room than Reuniclus is. Okay, it is, because it's immune to Taunt. However, still.
Like, you could easily get rid of Slowbro here and just use those points for something else.
I would also consider getting rid of Electabuzz.
Get rid of what?
Electabuzz, just because it's oh my god, it's the only fast one. At least
it's the only thing above 100 speed, and the only thing above 70 speed.
Yeah, I don't love this team.
No, yeah, like I said, it's very, very hard Trick Room.
It's Trick Room or Sand, that's it. It's 2 incredibly specific niche modes, and I don't love it. This team is super tempo-y for a Porygon 2 team.
Yeah, it's gonna be trying to just try and bullet down teams, but I don't think it's gonna be able to do that.
I don't know if this team is wide or top.
I think personally it's fairly top heavy, because I think you're bringing Hitmontop Porygon 2 to 100% of games, let alone sets.
I think Porygon 2 maybe doesn't come to 100% of games, but there's never a set that Hitmontop doesn't come to.
Yeah, Hitmontop is 100% coming to every best of 3.
You do a fast mode, you do a fast mode thing of this, I can see that. That's really the only conceivable set of 4 that will do anything.
Yeah, because the team also doesn't have Tailwind, it doesn't have fast speed control, so it's going to be very
it's just bulldoze with Sand Slash, but what are you bulldozing for? You don't have a ground immunity.
Exactly.
So Lurantis, I guess. Actually, Lurantis is probably one of the best recipients of bulldoze. Now that I think about it. But is it that good? I don't know. Maybe.
But it's still so niche.
Also, we've just spoiled it in this thing. So.
Spoiled what? Oh, Lorantis being, yeah.
The bulldoze thing. You also need to be in sand, which is...
Yeah, which is the other thing.
Yeah. Awful.
Yeah, I think this team is, like, pretty
Yeah.
top-heavy and very tempo.
I don't like the time behind all the other logos. Alright, we're finally on to the last team, the Californian Colossals. Now this is a wide-ass team.
Yeah, very. Because even, like, the low tiers, like, can do something. Like, Munchlax, Kadabra both have their
also, this
uses.
is Casey?
Yeah.
Wait, sorry, I said the Californian Colossal, but it does say Casey down here. All of the love I've said to Casey still exists.
Mimikyu will be interesting. This team, again, doesn't really have a physical breaker.
Oh yeah, when we were 2 days into this draft and I hadn't made my first pick, I made a joke about Casey should take over from Heracross after... Sorry, well, the person Heracross took over from. And then I was reminded, Casey's actually in last place, and they hadn't gotten their pick yet, because it had been like 2 days before my pick, and then we got to this person, and we had to wait a day to get a replacement. And I didn't realize that Casey was actually just in the draft.
That's funny. Wow, I don't think... this is just a side note. I don't think I've ever seen a team with 2 dry skin mons. I was just looking at
this team was specifically designed to have a bunch of
fire
water
type weakness. Yeah, for sure.
Like that's a public thing.
Got so many.
This is the only team. Like this is the counter to all the teams that are super weak to water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, Jinx is amazing. Durant's really good. Mimikyu's good. Guzzlord is good. Mantine is good. Credilli is good. Raikou is good. Quagsire is good. Toxicroak is good.
Admittedly, I think when your best special offense is Kadabra, I think you probably have to look at something.
Yeah, but they've also got really fast Snarl, so it's difficult to say that they're... Wait, what?
I said when their best special offense is
Kadabra. Offense. Yeah, but the next best special offense is Jinx, which is really good, and then it's Raikou, which is really good.
Yeah.
And then Guzzlord is good, and like all of these Pokemon have most of their Pokemon can function as special attackers, except for like Mimikyu, Durant.
Yeah, it's not a bad special attacking team. It also has very inconsistent physical attacking, with like Hustle Durant, Toxicroak not having CC, Player of Mimikyu, but I don't really like that's like fine, and then Guzzlord being so slow. Like your physical offense is not super
Munchlax. Trust.
The Trick Room is solid, yeah.
You gotta have faith in Munchlax.
No, I like Munchlax. I think for 3 points it does what it needs to do.
Absolutely. Kadabra's also in that kind of ballpark, because you can still speed swap with Kadabra, which is fine. It's
Kadabra for 3 points is still solid.
Or bumpy, but still fine. Speed swap being
absolutely.
a technical record, I think. It's really broken.
I think it was a TR, yeah.
It's really broken. This team is one ground check in Mantine, and I don't actually love the Mantine on this team, to be honest with you.
Mantine feels fine. Like
this team's rock matchup is bad, and its ground matchup is bad, which means its rock and ground matchup is bad, and that's always awkward. But this team's really good.
It's also funny because this is like a pseudo rain team. Like in the dry skin on like Jinx and Toxicroak, it likes having the fire moves weakened for Durant, the Swift Swim on Mantine, like Storm Drain for Credilli.
Unless it's a Heat Wave from a non-stab mon, or
a physical it's still move, gonna fucking
Durant's still gonna fucking die. Maybe with Ockerberry, it'll live like a non-stab flamethrower in rain.
Yeah.
58-48 is not the best. That said,
but it's still appreciates.
Durant was the mod that was most screwed over by not getting body press. Because I ran Iron Defense like baton pass on it in older gen like draft, where like you're allowed to pass one stat, and like sucks losing that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say this team definitely is not super tempo-y.
I mean, the team has got tempo, but it's also got the long game, and it's also got the mid.
Yeah,
this team is like it's super well balanced. This team is.
It's pretty. Nice. Yeah, it's pretty in the middle for.
This team is super wide. Like this team is like. This team is like here.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's. No, other way. Put it on the very right hand side. Super wide, super in the middle of.
Yep.
Tempo and long game.
Important thing to remember.
Had your alignment
I am very stupid.
Yeah.
I'd probably put it a bit towards long game.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
still
yeah.
got
Put a
good.
little.
I'm just
more
going
on
to
the
show
side.
Colossal's head out from under the white. I think this, yeah, it's really good. I appreciate having you along. I've kidnapped you twice now, and I will let you back to your family if you give me a Scooby snack.
I wish I had any on me. Hold on, I'll toss you
Oh,
off on the side.
oh, well, sometimes you just need to stay away from your family. And you know
Yeah,
what?
it happens.
It'll probably be a few months by the time I get you back, so you'll be able to have a break from me. Alright. Everyone, please comment down below. Just anything. I really need engagement for my series to do well. Like, engagement is incredibly important. Share it with a friend if you like the VBL. And if you don't like the VBL, then I'm going to cry. Love you guys. Please stay tuned for the on-season content as well. And honestly, I'm super excited for this. I don't think my team's very good, but I'm hoping it does well. God, this... Compare this to the baby one, it's like night and day. Alright, thanks.
Yeah.